Manala's going to reach for the end zone. He gets in. One guy to score. Switches hands and see you later.
This is another Fox 56 Sports presentation of the rivalry of the week.
And the celebration starts
Winners
on the
go
Delmore
on
sideline.
Delmore
Touchdown. That could be the one that sends them to the state final.
Summer evening as we get you set for the 81st annual Lions Club Dream Game. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ido, joined tonight by Aaron Dugan and Amanda Kuhl on the sidelines, and my partner in the booth for this game, Paul Grippy from Fox 56 Sports. Let's take a look at the last 6 meetings between the city and the county. The city overall holds the advantage 39-37, but it was the county team last year, after a scoreless half, put up 14 points and won that game 14-7. Prior to that, it's been all city. Last win for the county before last year was 2009. So we'll find out tonight if the county can duplicate their efforts from a year ago. Paul, let's first talk about the city team, a loaded team, a lot of skilled people. Probably the favorite in this game, Lex Rosario from Delaware Valley leading the way.
No one in this game had better statistics last year, or really the last 2 years, than Lex Rosario from Delaware Valley. He's the running back, over 3,500 yards career, 1,800 rushing yards last year. He had 17 rushing touchdowns. Delaware Valley built their offense around the ground game. Tonight, the city team will also build their game around his speed and his finesse.
County, though, going to load up on the defense. Probably their best players on that side of the ball, including Corey Soryavong from Old Forge.
Old Forge has contributed so much to this game in the last few years. Of course, the results show in the regular season. They went to Hershey a couple of years ago. They win district championships primarily on defense. Corey Soryavong, an all-state player, 6 feet, 240 pounds. He's going to lead the way for the county. He'll be playing at Assumption next year. He comes off of a 10-sack season, and you know the county is going to look to him for leadership.
Well, both of our silent reporters have caught up with their coaches. We'll start with Aaron.
Thanks, Bob. Well, Coach Fahey, how did things go this week? How was preparing for the game?
Things went very well. I mean, we were lucky to have a really good group of kids, well coached from each of the programs that they came from. The team, gelled together really quickly. The chemistry, the camaraderie. In terms of practice, our focus over the past 9 days was conditioning and execution. And, the kids have been doing a really nice job, being committed to both.
Of course, one of the big storylines tonight is this heat. It's very, very hot on the field. How are the guys prepared, and how are they going to stay hydrated?
Well, I mean, we've been preaching hydration, for the past week, anticipating this type of weather. Like I said, conditioning was a focus. It's typically an issue in an all-star game like this. We as coaches are going to do our best to be very responsible. This is an all-star game. It's for charity. Yeah, our kids want to win. We want to compete. But at the same time, platoon football is going to be very important. Our assistant coaches are, going to be looking to substitute people in and out, keep people fresh.
You talked about this being an all-star game, but hey, it's going to be very competitive as well, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, I can't take that away from, my players. I mean, they want to, be successful and come out on top in this football game, like I said. And, the rules behind the all-star game kind of allow for, it's a very offensive-friendly type rules in terms of how the defenses have to play. So our job as coaches is just to try to put our kids in position to make plays, have a good time, of course, be safe. But, our boys, wouldn't be all-stars if they didn't want to try to win this football game.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for your time, and have a great time tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's head over to Amanda Kuhl, standing by with the county coach, Coach McDonough.
Thank you so much, Aaron. We are with former Western Wayne standout and current Western Wayne football coach, Donnie McDonough. Donnie, you played in this game in 2003, and now you're back here as the head coach. How special is it for you to be out here tonight?
It means a lot, to be a part of this. We told the guys on Sunday at our brunch that, everybody from the county to the city, this is a fraternity. To be able to play in this game means a lot as a coach, to come back and coach it after playing. So the kids know it's a tradition, and it means a lot to be selected to play in it.
How was practice this week, and what can we expect to see from the county squad tonight?
You know what? Practice after the first couple of days, we run a very rigorous offense, a lot of different things. So the first couple of days took a lot to install. The next couple of days, it took a lot to get our timing. But the last 2 days, we kind of came together with the quarterbacks, wide receivers, our running game scheme. So things have progressed as, right up to the game day today.
Perfect. Coach, best of luck tonight. All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Amanda. The city's ready, the county's ready, the fans are filing in. We're ready for the 81st annual Lions Club Dream Game. The opening kickoff and the starters are on the way.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
And we are back at John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium, awaiting the kickoff of tonight's 81st annual Lions Club Dream Game. Well, the big story this afternoon, as you might know, the summer heat, the humidity, the high temperatures in the 90s. You add AstroTurf to that, a turf field, and it will be very hot down on the field. So what's the plan? What are the coaches and trainers going to do about that? Let's go down to Aaron for more on that.
Well, Bob, you heard the weather reports all day, possibly the hottest day of the year. That could very well be true, reaching temperatures of up to 95 degrees today. Right now, it's about 90. Earlier, we did have a thermometer on the field, and that fluctuated up and down, but it did hit 105 at one point. Now, I talked to the trainers before the game, and they said they knew this heat was coming all week long. They had the guys drinking extra water starting on Monday, so they knew this was coming. They feel pretty prepared. They said there could be some cramps, but that's to be expected. And, of course, the referees, they did take some precautions. They now say that every 2 series there will be a water break. And if the water breaks don't help, hey, you could just get one of these little personal fans like this. Feels good, Bob.
I actually have one of those.
Okay,
Paul's gonna hold it all night on my face.
I think the NFL is going to employ those all season long as well.
So both teams are prepared for this, as you see the coin toss between both teams, Paul. The coaches have not started anyone on both sides of the ball. We'll see that later on in the game, but they knew the heat was coming, and they're prepared for it.
They want to keep these players well rested during the game, and they definitely will be drinking a lot as the game progresses too. Helmets off when you're on the sidelines. All day, really all week, they've been drinking extra water to prepare for tonight's heat.
Whether you saw referee Mike Saris signal county deferred, that means we will see the high-powered offense from that city team. And coming up later on the scoreboard, we will have every name of every player in this game so far. So both teams practicing, Paul, for about 10 days or so in the heat. How much can you put into a game like this?
One of the prime causes for practice is to shake off the rust. None of these guys have played a football game in about 8, maybe 9 months. So you want to get your football finesse and skill back. That's the first thing you've got to accomplish in practice. Then you've got to get the team on the same page. Everyone has to know their assignments. It's not a complicated playbook. It doesn't go really deep. They have kept it simple, but still, with only 10 days of practice, football teams aren't always able to function as a unit like they need to. So we're going to look for guys missing assignments or a little bit of sloppiness, at least early in the game.
Absolutely. And both teams took about 45 minutes of warm-ups, went in for about 30 minutes. Did see the city loosen up in the backfield here behind Hens Memorial Stadium, and now they're stretching out there now. We're getting set to have the kickoff in the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game. We've seen some high scorers over the last 4 or 5 years. Last year, very close game up to halftime, 14-7, the final score. How do you see this game playing out?
I think the first quarter is important, especially you want to come out of the first quarter with the lead. As this night goes on and guys get more and more tired and execution becomes more difficult with the fatigue setting, and scoring might be harder. So the team that can jump out to an early lead has a better chance in this game, and I imagine that's some of the thought in Brian Fahey's mind as he decided to receive the opening kickoff. We're going to see a lot of breaks and some slow play. The officials want to make sure that the players are ready to go and stretched out and not rushing to get things done. They get a water break when they need to. We will be stopping for water breaks. But they're going to be very deliberate about the pace and the way we get things going today, and the starts and the stops, because they want to make sure everyone's okay. Bob, make no mistake, this is dangerous heat. Now, it's not critically dangerous, but it can be dangerous. They want to make sure it doesn't get to be critically dangerous.
So A.J. Catarella from Old Forge will tee it up. Back to receive. We have Kyle Kriptavich, Ramon Fields, and Lex Rosario for the City. It is Fields who have the ball. Up quickly to the 25, and that's where the City will start their offense. Getting the start tonight from Delaware Valley, Brett Cohen at quarterback. Threw for 919 yards last year, 19 TDs and 9 interceptions. His wide receivers very good, very fast. There you see Fields, Krautovich, and Waters, the tight end. Up front, good size. Lazario at 250. Drews going to Moravian, 6'3", 280 on the other side. Oh, that's big. Andrew Lazinski out of Western Wayne, the defensive end. As we take a look at the county defense, they counter with a big defensive front against a big offensive front from the City. It's Suryavong, Hannon, Witt, and the aforementioned Lazinski out of Western Wayne going to St. Francis. The linebackers very good. Bardo, Klein, and Ronaldi. Your secondary looks like this. Rosiak, Zubek, Bomba from Lakeland, and Brandon Vahey out of Old Forge. So on the first play, scrimmage, no gain. First pass of the game from Austin White, who gets the start. So a little bit of a change up already. A first flag of the game comes in. So Austin White, Paul, gets the start. A little bit of a last-minute change for Brian Fahey and his team.
We were expecting to see Cohen come out, but it was White from Susquehanna, and he threw the first pass attempt, and we'll see what this penalty is to determine if it is officially a pass attempt.
Mike Serra, our referee tonight. First down. It didn't see what the call was, Paul, but it's up to the 40-yard line. So Austin White in for Susquehanna, headed to Kings. 3,936 total yards, 3-year starters, 42 touchdowns. Another big play from that defense. Suryavong in there, along with Hannon. So right now, until that penalty, it's been the defensive front of the county.
Well, the City team has attempted 2 running plays early in this game. Both of them have gone off right tackle. Both of them have gone for no gain. So the county defensive line has been ready and prepared for that.
Another tough thing for these teams to mesh up front. Some very good players, but when you're not used to one another, you're not going to know where each other is. This is what White has brought to the table. Typically an option quarterback out of Susquehanna. We saw him against Old Forge in the District 2 final. Very good athlete. He keeps it on the option, brings up a 3rd and short.
So that run play went to the left side, a little different, a little mix-up for the City that time. And they caught the county off guard. I think the county was keying on running back getting the ball, but White kept it himself, a quarterback keeper, and that's the biggest gain so far for the City on this possession here.
City in the white with the blue trim, County in the red with the white trim. Helmets from all the respective schools. White will roll out, has a guy over the middle. That's Waters from Dunmore. Big gain all the way to the County 31-yard line.
22-yard completion to Waters, the tight end. Pretty impressive. That's exactly how Dunmore used him all season. Waters would line up at tight end, run the play, come across the middle, and really left forgotten. It's easy to hide a tight end in the defensive secondary here in District 2.
Jeff Narr, Kings, watching very closely on Austin White. So a 4-3 base defense, no blitzing, no stunning. White's pass incomplete. On the offensive side, you have to have one guy in the backfield at all times. That would be a running back or wide receiver. So that falls incomplete, brings up 2nd down.
They try to control this game, at least as far as the thickness of the playbook. Keep it simple for the players, the officials, and the coaches, because inadvertently, one team would have a huge playbook, one team would have a small playbook, and one team was practicing plays and forgetting plays. And after 81 years, they know what they're doing here. So they've got this streamlined. They have a basic standard defensive playbook that both teams will use the same defensive playbook.
Handoff to Rosario, nowhere to go. That's Mr. Slezinski in there from Western Wayne. The Wildcats well represented today, Paul. Of course, with their head coach. Here we see it again.
Andy Slezinski, he goes 6'4", 240, and he is a lot of man to take care of down there. Playing football at St. Francis next year.
Yeah, the only player on this field going to a Division I school.
Yes, he got a financial package. It came late after signing day, which is in February. It came later in the winter for him, but he's very happy to be headed to St. Francis.
So 3rd and long coming up for the City. Opening drive of the Dream Game. White has some great legs, has got some running room. Can he get a block? He does. But another Western Wayne guy comes in, Slozinski again. Also Witt in there. So 4th down and a big call coming up for the City team. Slozinski, I think, needs a little bit of water. Feeling it. Here you see it again. White couldn't get that block he needed.
White took off to the left side, but it just wasn't happening over there. So he turned it around and went to the right. I'm impressed by White at this point. Austin White, his footwork looks sharp, his accuracy looks good, and he has a nice presence in the pocket, and that's pretty nice considering he hasn't played football in several months.
Probably one of the best athletes to come out of Susquehanna. Dan Kempa, another name for Kings, and this ball on 4th down is intercepted by the County.
Yes.
It was 4th down, so it goes for naught. Jared Bumba out of Lakeland. Here we see it again. Basically, no harm, no foul on that.
I just get done saying how nice White has looked, and this one turns into a floater. It just doesn't quite reach its target. Didn't have enough thrust behind it, and Bumba's able to pull it in, and the County's in business, but deep in their own territory.
So the County offense, after a big defensive stop, comes in. It will be Tyler Shea out of Mid-Valley who will be the quarterback. Headed to Moravian. Had some good numbers with the Spartans. 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Very good pocket passer. Was impressed with him in practice. They'll hand it off, though, behind him to his teammate, Corey Tomasetti. So let's take a look at the starters now for the County team. It's Shea, Tomasetti, and Bennett. Very big running back situation. Kyle Haynes, A.J. Conarella, and Dan Wood will be your receivers. They'll see a 3 wide receiver set with Jake Henzis as well. Up front, Paul, not a very big team.
No.
They average probably near 200 pounds. The big guy, Bergsma out of Western Wayne, on that tackle position, 6 foot, 265. But all the other players are below 200 pounds.
That's where we see the City having an advantage in this game. And we're going to see if they're fast enough to get around the size that the City puts up on the D-line.
Shea's first pass is complete to Haynes. Kyle Haynes out of Western Wayne, up for a 1st down for the County to the 19-yard line.
Real nice, crisp play. And a good decision by Coach Donnie McDonough leading the County team that the first pass attempt is a high percentage completion. Take a 3-step drop, even a 2-step drop, and just hit the guy wide open before the defense can get there. Now you're in a rhythm. Now you've got some flow.
Haynes headed to Shippensburg. First team All-State wide receiver. Nice all-purpose back. Was a member of that track team that finished 2nd in the 400-meter relay. Of course, Western Wayne won the District 2 AAA track championship in the past year. Fumble on the carpet. Shea falls right down. So with that, we'll have an opportunity now to head down for our first interview on the County sidelines and welcome in Amanda Kuhl.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, 2 huge stops out there in the first quarter. How does it feel?
It feels good to have one more chance to play before we go off to college.
What's it like playing with your former teammates and your coach?
It's pretty awesome. It's an experience I thought I'd never have again, so can't believe it.
You're heading to St. Francis. You're the only Division I player who's out here today. How'd you make that decision to go to St. Francis?
Well, it was actually a long thing. I ruled out a lot of them, and it was right at the end that I decided, let's go there. It just seemed right.
Andrew, catch your breath and get back out there. Good luck tonight. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Go big. Andrew Slezinski. So on 2nd and long, out to Haynes again. Defense right there. Dial in there, along with Gorton and Sample, the secondary. Charlie Paps from Scranton as well. So short game brings up 3rd and long.
Now, Coach McDonough has 3 quarterbacks on this County team, and he intends to use 1 each for the first 3 quarters. And then 4th quarter, it's going to be a game decision based on how the team played behind each of those quarterbacks and who seemed to have the hot hand and what worked best.
There is Brian Fahey out of West Scranton. Played in this game in 1992. second season with the Invaders. So Shea will go back into the shotgun. Next to him, Brad Sales from Carbondale. Over the middle, Haynes, draped, and I mean draped, by Scott Gorton, the safety. No penalty on that. It brings up fourth down. So here's a quick look at the starting lineup. For the City, Aprisco, Drews, Rawlings, and O'Hearn. Linebackers, Terreri, Pabst, and Hout. And the secondary is Dial, Sample, Gorton, and Stanley. That's your defense for the City. So fourth down, A.J. Cantarella, the big 6'7" All-Star, will do the punting. Flag comes down, might not have enough players on the field. Of course, special teams, another part of the game that a lot of these players didn't play probably in high school.
12, Jimmy.
Special teams is often an afterthought for players. It's secondary to their primary duties on offense or defense, so sometimes they are not as attentive to it, and this is the kind of thing that happens.
Illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men. Repeat, fourth down.
So County will get 5 yards, and we'll still have to punt it away. So both teams trying to feel each other out, see what they're going to do. The good news is the sun is going down. The field really has no sun on it, so the heat should be coming down shortly for these two teams.
Now, no fakes are allowed here in this game. That's one of the rules.
Fields and Rosario back. Good high kick. Rosario gets out of the way, and it will get dead at the 27-yard line. So that will do it. It'll take our first water break, I believe, and we'll take our first break of the evening. No score here at the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
Thank you to the West Scranton cheerleaders coming out on a summer day. No score here, 5:05 remaining in the first quarter in this Lions Club Dream Game. Let's go down now to Aaron, who has another special guest, I think a quarterback who we just saw. Aaron.
That's right, Bob. Austin White from Susquehanna, one of the quarterbacks here tonight. What's the competition like there tonight?
It's tough, you know. Everyone here's an all-star. You know, they deserve to be here, and you know they're giving us a fight up front. Our line's got to get a push, but you know everyone's great. Practice all week was great. So much talent. You know, to practice 10 days and be able to come out here and do this is incredible.
How about at Susquehanna? You had a fantastic career. Anything really stick out for you? Any memories over the years?
Definitely making the district championship this year. You know, we worked really hard over our 3 years. A lot of us were two-way starters all 3 years, and you know, just to make it there after all that time, it meant a lot. You know, we made it to the playoffs the year before, but making it that far definitely meant a lot.
And how about future plans for you?
I'll be at Kings in the fall playing quarterback.
Great. Kings alumni myself. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to you guys.
Well, big defensive stop again by the County as Josh Lobasso comes in for the County.
Lobasso was streaking in there. I mean, flying like a maniac. He made the tackle for the loss in the backfield. I thought we would be talking Lobasso's name on offense. He is a quarterback for the County team, but right now, lining up on defense, a terrific athlete. And we heard about how versatile he was, and we just saw half of that versatility there. We'll see the other half when he plays quarterback.
How about 92 career tackles for Lobasso at Honesdale, 7 for a loss and 7 interceptions. That's his career at Honesdale, headed to Lycoming College. So Brett Cohen is the quarterback, steps from Slazinski, has room and then fires downfield. It's caught by Sample from Scranton Prep. Big gain at the 45-yard line.
Nice show of athleticism right there. Here's Cohen. He's rolling out to his left, looking downfield, but looking into a lot of traffic, a lot of crowd. The pocket wasn't happening for him there. Someone's on his right. Let's go back to the left. Watch him switch hands here and throw with the right foot, and he's pushing off. A little wobbly, but it hits the mark. Good effort by both players.
I like the way Cohen went to the opposite side of what he throws, Paul, and turned those shoulders Good coaching by Keith Holsimer at Delaware Valley on Cohen. So 19-yard game, quick hitter inside. That's the first positive running play of the night. And that went to Pabst. Charlie Pabst, the fullback out of Scranton.
He's the big bruiser from Scranton High, sort of a bowling ball, played fullback, a straight ahead kind of runner. A lot of times he was blocking for a young man named McCarthy. Did you ever hear about this McCarthy kid, Bob?
Joe? Oh, Jake.
Jake.
Jake McCarthy, that's right.
Yes, not bad for a football player.
No, not too bad. In fact, we'll talk to his coach, Mike Marichak, in the third quarter. Pat Monahan, big wheels, can't get anything going. Lapasso in there quickly on the stop. So maybe Lycoming coach is thinking defense for Josh. No gain from Monahan.
Trying to go straight ahead and then cut it back outside, but it just wasn't happening. There's Labasso again coming in. He came to play tonight. Labasso means business. They're going to have to account for him.
So this game, all about execution. Can't stunt, can't blitz. Got to execute the plays that you've been practicing for the last 10 days. So a third down coming up. No score here in the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game. Sample deep, pulled. No flag, but he caught it down at the 11.
Fantastic.
Kevin Sample, what a over-the-shoulder catch.
They could have thrown a flag on that. Lots of contact going down the sidelines. Brandon Vahey on defense, keeping up with him stride for stride. Vahey had a little pushing and shoving there. Sample made a terrific effort to bring that ball in.
Sample headed to Pittsburgh Bradford, not to play any more football. Very good athlete from Scranton Prep, two-time All-Region selection. Had 6 touchdowns a year ago, along with Dan Ryan. Favorite team, the Indianapolis Colts. So it's been the Cohen-Sample connection who's leading the way for the city. Down at the 14, they'll try to get Monahan outside, and they can't. Defense once again there.
Running game has not been going well for the city at all. I talked to the county coach, Donnie McDonough, earlier this week. He told me how they decided what to do with the two-way players. A lot of these players normally play offense and defense. They said they figured out all the two-way players and which ones were better on defense. They put them on defense. They started with defense. That was their first thought in building this team and putting it together. We want to have our best 11 on defense, and then the offense will fall into place from there.
So City trying to break this scoreless game. To the end zone has a guy, incomplete, trying to hit Russo. But what a play by Cooper Rosiak on a Lackawanna Trail. Steps in at the last second.
Pass was another bit of a wobbler there. I always say it's very hard for a high school quarterback to run and throw on the same play, and that's what he was doing. You see a lot less force behind the ball when they do that, and a lot less accuracy.
So this drive started back at their own 26. We're coming up on a minute to play in the first quarter. Cohen has running room. Makes a move to get to the outside. Dives for the first down. Let's see where the spot is. It will be right at the first down mark. First and goal, City at the 4.
Terrific play there by Cohen. It was a run the whole way, and he just waited for the hole to be there, and when he saw the hole, he took off. He put a move on Bobby Rinaldi, cut it out to the outside, and at the end, he just stretched the ball far enough while still inbounds to get that first down.
Cohen, not really known as a runner, has done a nice job with his legs here tonight. So a first scoring opportunity of the evening is coming up, and we have a stoppage and a timeout on the field. County wants to take a little bit of a break. And we'll stay right here. 37 seconds remaining in this quarter. So while the defense for the County, I think, Paul, has looked very good, been the passing game of Cohen and Sample that has really taking the reins here for the city and driving them down the field.
Brett Cohen has done a really nice job showing leadership, showing skill. He's completed those 2 passes, both of them to Sample, which were big gainers, each of them going for a first down. And then that time Cohen ran for a first down. So the city team here started on their own 27. Now they're down on the 4-yard line, knocking on the door with a chance to get the first score. And you have to give credit for that to Brett Cohen.
Cohen headed to Sussex Community College, has aspirations of joining the Pennsylvania State Police sometime. Favorite team, the Green Bay Packers from the NFL. Thanks Coach Olsheimer and his brothers Chris and John for success on the football field.
Now, interestingly enough, you have Lex Rosario playing for the city and Brett Cohen. They were teammates together at Delaware Valley, but Coach Fahey hasn't played them together here in the first quarter. Rosario was the running back on the city's first series, and Cohen has come in to quarterback the second series. So down here at this field position on your opponent's 4, it's 1st and goal on the 4. It takes away a little bit of the city's passing game. The city is going to try to run the ball, and they have not been able to do that well, at least with their running backs, in this first quarter.
Looks like the power backs are in. Marquez, a big fullback. Power I with Paps as well. Handoff inside. Sal Marquez from Dunmore puts City on the board for a 4-yard touchdown.
Just like he did so many times all season for the Dunmore Bucks, Sal Marquez just straight ahead running. You give him a hole, he's going to get the job done. He helped propel that Dunmore team to the Eastern Championship last season. He was a 1-2 punch with Colin Holmes. I think Holmes got a lot of the attention, but it would not have done as well as they did last year without Sal Marquez.
Nope, not at all. Well, be joined by Jack Henzis in the fourth quarter. Talk about these players who've had what a career for the Dunmore players over the last 4 years. So our only kicker in the game is Steve Jesse from Susquehanna. He'll attempt this extra point for the city. No rush, kick is up, and the kick is no good. So city takes it from their own 26. They drive it down the field, and with 33 seconds remaining, they take a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. 8 yards.
73 yards in 4 minutes and 36 seconds. And it was capped by Marquez going for 4 yards and a 6-0 lead for the city.
So now the county offense has to get in gear and see if they can put a drive together themselves. City has looked pretty good, I think, so far early on the offensive side. No surprise there. Big line, some speed, and 2 quarterbacks who can either throw the ball or run it. So let's go down to Aaron now, who has a special guest from North Pocono. Aaron.
That's right, Bob. Joining me now is Pop Monahan from North Pocono. You guys finally got on the board. You having fun out there tonight?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Even though it's only been about a quarter, you know, it's fun. It's been fun already.
Tell me about this week of practice. How are you guys getting along? How'd things go?
Well, you know, we're getting along great. Everybody bonded together like a family. It was really hot this week, but you know, we pushed through, and here we are.
So tell me about your future. Now, I know you have some accolades on the track and field. Tell us about those first.
Well, I'm actually going to ESU to run track. I finished first in the 100 and 200 at leagues and districts. Went on to states, finished 8th in the state for the 200 and 7th in the state for the 100.
So this will be your last football game?
Yep, this will be my last football game.
How are you feeling about that?
It's a bittersweet feeling, but you know, it's going to be a good time.
We'll have fun tonight, and best of luck for your future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bob?
Yeah, we've been calling Pat Monahan's name all year long, especially on the track side. One big winner in the district AAA track, 100 and 200, one of the fastest in all of the district. Back to the county teams. That's Jake Henzis from his 1. He'll weave his way up, and the county will take over on the 18-yard line.
So we'll see if this red team can respond, down 6-0 here, final seconds of the first quarter. The county did fairly well on their first possession. They gained 12 net yards, 16 passing, a 4-yard loss on the ground. So They're going to try to establish the run here. We have told you, though, the city team is bigger up front especially, and that might make it hard for the county to get that running game going between the tackles.
So this should be Tyler Shea's at least last couple of plays anyway. We'll see if they switch him in the middle of the series. Vic Mallory from Trail probably awaiting in the second quarter. Shea, quick out, trying to hit Cage Bennett from Valley View on a swing, went incomplete.
Little screen pass there, and that's one of the difficult plays to execute when you only have 10 practices under your belt. It requires a lot of timing, a little finesse, and a little bit of deceit. The county team lets that pass rush come into the backfield, and just at the last second when Shea thinks someone's about to sack him, he's supposed to throw the ball. All in all, was executed pretty well. The ball wasn't caught, but I think even if it was caught, wouldn't have been any gain with that.
So it was a very quick opening first quarter, but now it's slowed up a little bit as we head towards the tail end. And we have another flag come in, probably some motion.
Yeah, a little movement down there before the snap of the ball. They're pointing toward the defense, so maybe the defense was offsides or lined up in the neutral zone.
Prior snap, defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards in defense. Still second down.
Okay, after the penalty, let's head down to Amanda. She's got a special guest. Who do you have, Amanda?
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Josh Natale from Lakeland. Josh, you broke your hand on Friday, touch and go all week. How's it feeling tonight?
I mean, it's feeling as good as I think it could feel. Very fortunate it wasn't anything serious, and I'm able to get in the game if they want to put me in, so feeling confident.
How important was it to you to get out here tonight and be with these guys on the sideline and suit up for the game?
I mean, it means everything. This atmosphere is amazing, being on the team, practicing all week, and then having this injury, just to be out here with these guys, it's a blessing.
Thanks, Josh. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Guys, up to you.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you heard, Natale broke his hand and came back, practiced this week. He'll probably get in a couple plays in this game. So on the reverse there was Haynes. He goes out of bounds. So still trying to get this last minute, Paul, of the first quarter, taking a long time. Haynes picked up the first down.
Yep, he got 6 yards on that carry. He already has 16 yards in 2 receptions, but out of bounds stops the clock. So 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. And the county has a first down and a little breathing room. They were deep in their own territory to start.
The tally headed to Bloomsburg, 3-sport athlete. Probably play football down for the Huskies. So Shea back out to Canarella, the big tight end, wide receiver. Brody Dials has no fear. He comes in, makes a great tackle, and they actually lose about a yard on the play, and that should do it. So the first quarter is in the book here in Peckville. Very entertaining, and the city took it down. Sal Marquez does the honors, and they lead this one after one, 6-0. Tonight's 81st Dream Game is also available for purchase on DVD or Blu-ray. To place your order, go to myfoxnepa.com. So 1 quarter in the book here at Hens's Banners Memorial Stadium in Peckville. Full moon looking over the stadium. Sun has set, so it's cooled down a little bit. Paul Grippy, Bob Ide, Amanda Cool, and Aaron Dugan. Glad you could join us for another telecast here of the Dream Game. Paul, your impressions of the first quarter?
Well, we saw a couple of good plays, particularly from Brett Cohen of the city team, the quarterback. He did it with his arm, and he did it on his feet as well, and that's why they have a 6-0 lead. And we're still waiting to see if the county can get in the flow of things and get this offense going. They'll start the second quarter here with Vic Mallory at quarterback.
So Mallory comes in. He'll be headed to Kings. Right now, no intentions of playing football. Had a great career, 2,333 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, had an 89 QBR rating. And he can run the ball pretty good, too. Last year, in his senior year, 274 and 6 touchdowns, and plays a little bit of defense. tries to send one downtown, trying to hit Kyle Haynes, and falls incomplete. Our first guest of the evening from the very successful Sabres of Susquehanna, Kyle Cook joins us. Coach, good to see you. Glad you could join us in the booth here, Paul and I. How many players do you have playing, and what's it like seeing them for the last time?
Well, this is great to be here. We have 4 players playing tonight. It's great to be here. I love the stadium that they have here. I like it down here. It's a little easier to get to from Susquehanna than Scranton, so that's nice. But we have Austin White playing, and Steve Jess, Christian Miller, and Craig Stanley.
Well, Austin got the start after a little bit of a change.
Yep.
So Connorella on 4th down, high kick. Fair catch taken by Fields, and the City will take over at the 29-yard line.
What did you think of Austin White there in the first quarter?
I think he did well. He showed he could run the ball. He got licked pretty good there on one of the hits and gained extra yards after that. And typical of what I've seen from him over the last 3 years. Very tough kid, very smart kid, and put together a good drive. It looks like he's coming out back for another one.
Well, he's headed to Kings as Austin White, and when you think Kings, you think Susquehanna grad Dan Kempa. And, boy, he had an outstanding All-American career for the Monarchs. Where do you see Austin playing at Kings? And he looked pretty good at quarterback, so maybe Jeff Nard thinking quarterback down there.
Yeah, I mean, he's an athlete. He can play really anywhere on either side of the ball, I would say, his skill positions. So I'm not sure what they're planning on doing with him, but I think he's capable of being, I'm not sure as good as Danny Kempa, but.
Well, there he is right there. He took that. You guys made it all the way to the district finals. Your team on the rise, always known as an option type up there. It's a small school. You always seem to have great athletes. What did last year mean to you, the seniors, and to the coaching staff and the school?
It meant a lot. I mean, we haven't been to a district championship in, I think it was 19 years, 18 years. And for me, it meant a lot. I started with these group guys as a sophomore, as an assistant coach, and then taking over the head coach for junior and senior year. A great group of kids. We had a lot of them graduated, but it was great. I mean, the community came together, and with us, we have 2 schools, so it was 2 communities actually coming together to support us. So it was really nice.
Well, another defensive player of the game so far, Paul, has to be that defensive end, Andrew Lazinski. He's just a force to be reckoned with. We talked about Corey Suryavong, but they may be watching him too much. Lazinski's getting open then.
He's been plugging up the middle. The City has really been ineffective running the ball between the tackles here. And there you see, straight up the middle again with Rosario. He had nowhere to go, so he had to turn it outside, and that's how you end up with a loss.
Now, you don't get to see, Kyle, all these Western Wayne players, but they look pretty impressive so far early on.
They do. We played him a couple years ago. Coach Madonna's first game. It was my first game, and he beat us. But I know he does great things over there with the weight room, and his numbers are through the roof. So I expect that from these guys. He produced a lot of good players this year.
Well, on 3rd and long, Austin White unable to get away from a couple tacklers from the county, and that will bring on the punt team for the City. Let's take a look at it again and talk about Austin. This is what you've seen for a couple years, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we were more of a run offense, but this year he did pass the ball, I think, for over 800 yards. So we did open it up a little bit. We had some good receivers. And one of these kids that with the option, you need a tough and smart quarterback, and he exemplified that for the last 3 years for us.
Rich LaCicero there on the offensive line doing a great job making room for White and preventing the sack there. So he took a negative play and turned it into a no-gainer, which he'll take any day.
So the City will kick it away. Kraptovich. Good return from Jarrett Bamba out of Lakeland. And the County will have the ball just over the midfield stripe here in the second quarter. Let's see if they'll take one of these water breaks. And we're looking at the referee, Mike Serra. He said he was going to take the breaks every 2 series, but check on the players as well. And I think right now we're going to stay here. And we'll head down to Aaron with a special guest in a moment. But the County will have the ball on the City 49-yard line. So let's see if this offense can get anything going, Paul.
Best field position starting a drive for the County in this game. They're in City territory already. Let's see if they just go up top and bomb it right off the bat.
Tomasetti from Mid-Valley. still on his feet. Big bruising back, 230 pounds, headed to Kutztown. Put 6 yards on the board. And let's head down now to Aaron.
Well, Bob, we saw him in the end zone many times as a Dunmore Buck, and now scoring the first touchdown in the Dream game. How did that feel?
It was pretty cool. Coach Fay, he called the Dunmore offensive line and fullback over, and all my buddies went in, so I knew what was next. He called me in, and I had the best offensive line in this area and the best 2 fullbacks in this area, so I knew I was going to score.
How emotional is it? You talked about your buddies being out here with you. You guys were so close over the years. How emotional is it playing your last high school game tonight with them?
It's pretty cool. The Drews brothers, Kyle, Steve, Joe Waters, Justin, we've been best friends forever, so it's pretty cool to see him, Coach Fahey, do something like that and throw us all in there at once.
Tell us about your future plans.
I am currently taking summer classes at Bloomsburg University, and I intend to major in business.
Very cool. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to the game.
Well, Sal Marquez from the Dunmore, very successful Dunmore Buck program, playing his last game here tonight at Valley View. On the field is a 3rd down, and it's Tomasetti again. 3 carries in a row, Paul. They're going big back, and they're going to go off that left side. And they pick up their first down.
All 3 plays on this possession for the county team have gone to Tomasetti. The first 2 up the middle. This one, they busted out to the outside around the left end. And Tomasetti's good inside and outside. He can speed you, he can finesse you, he can power you, whatever you need. That time, he gets you the first down, and that's what his county team needed. Now they're in business here with good field position.
Did you see Tomasetti at all, Kyle?
We should have, but
Yeah.
he actually got hurt the game before he was supposed to play us. But so we lucked out there. He's a big, strong kid, and we would have had the game plan a little different for his side of the ball. But he's showing it.
Pump
tonight.
fake by Mallory, downfield, all alone is Haynes. Makes the move, touchdown County, 38 yards. Kyle Haynes.
Someone lost their assignment there. Mallory to Haynes, and Haynes was wide open, waiting for the ball, sipping coffee as it landed into his hands nice and softly. All he had to do was accelerate, put on one move, and we have a tie ball game here.
I know you saw that trail quarterback, though, a couple times, haven't you?
Twice, yep. Yeah, he's a good player. He hurt us out with his legs a lot the first game we played him, but Vic throws a really good ball, and Coach Jervis did a great job with those guys this year.
Let's see if they try going up top. They're going to kick it. I would say at one point we're going to see Canarella up top. Big 6'7" kid from Old Forge. You know the county coaches are just itching to throw it up top to him. Canarella will try to kick this one in. Haynes the holder. And if it's good, they'll take the lead, and it is good. So the best field position of the night for the county. And they turn it into the points. They lead the city now 7-6 as Haynes is putting on the moves. The Western Wayne cheerleaders couldn't make it, so it's the Lakeland cheerleaders stepping in. And you're wondering, why is it 6-6? Well, there was a penalty as we went to break on the county, so they had to back it up. Canarella kicked it again, and this one was no good. So instead of up 7-6, we're tied at 6 here in the second quarter.
And of course, they'll take a little bit of a water break now. They'll take their time coming out for the kickoff. Before we get into this in the swing of things and here into the second quarter.
Kyle Cook from Susquehanna in the booth with us right now. So have you done your heat acclimation yet for your team?
It's coming up. We've been doing a lot of summer workouts over the summer here, 3 days a week with weightlifting and on the field stuff. And we start with the heat acclimation August 10th, so we're looking forward to it.
And you're still in Division III, the Lackawanna Football Conference.
Yep.
So is the cupboard bare? Or you got some kids coming back?
I have some coming back. We did lose a lot. I mean, obviously when you got 4 kids playing in this game, you have 4 quality kids. And we lost, we had 17 seniors that we lost. I mean, not all of them played, but I'm bringing back 5 on offense and 6 on defense. But we did lose a lot with the some quality kids. So.
Of course, went to the district final last year, so that was a big achievement for there.
Yep.
Kriptovich and West Scranton hit out of bounds. See a flag over there? Nope. So it goes out of bounds, and so far he has the score for the county. It's Kyle Haynes, and he's with Amanda Kuhl right now.
Thanks, guys. Kyle, huge touchdown out there to tie the game. What's it feeling like?
Oh, it's awesome. Just being out here, the atmosphere, and being with the teammates we practiced all week, it's just awesome.
You and a teammate, Matt Witt, are both heading to SHIP in the fall. What's it like playing with him for the first time?
Me and Matt, we were captains last year, and we've always been really good buddies. And just the fact that me and him are both going, it's an honor. It's awesome.
You ran track in the spring. How has that helped you with football?
Well, the workouts that we were doing, just staying in shape, getting faster. We have great coaches up at Western Wayne who really drill you hard, and everything works.
All right, Kyle, great job out there. Get back. Thank you so much. Good luck. All right, guys, back to you.
So there you hear Kyle Haynes, an all-state player, all-region, headed to Shippensburg. Very good Division II team. And he's a little humble about that track and field team, Paul. They won the district title, of course, first time ever, and that was a big achievement for the Wildcats.
They were thrilled with that. And Western Wayne athletics is really at an all-time high. Just about every sport is thriving. They're getting good turnout. They're getting good athletes, a good school spirit at Western Wayne.
So Cohen is back in for the city team, and he hits Justin Bellardi out of Scranton Prep for a big game. So second down. There they go to Bellardi again over the middle. The big tight end all the way inside county territory at the 35.
Boy, two beautiful passes back to back. Cohen to Bellardi. It's like these guys are reading each other's minds. One short route crossing over the middle. That one right up the seam. He hit him on the numbers. And Bellardi's such a big guy. He can catch the ball, and he's hard to bring down.
What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I agree. Well, you'd like to have a tight end like that. He's big, great catch over the middle, and you got to look 10, 12 extra yards after he got hit, so that's what you need.
We don't see tight ends receiving the ball a lot in District 2.
Yeah, I mean, last year, I can't think of, I mean, Mid-Valley had the Danny Wood kid playing a tight end, and he was good, but like you said, it's just very, I don't know, we're more of a running game teams up this way. And if you do have a good one, you can exploit a lot of linebackers with them.
Well, of course, Canarella, 6'7". He didn't catch a lot for Old Forge, but he was an imposing figure.
Yeah, he was. I mean, against us, he played wide out more than I would say tight end, but even a defensive end, very physical kid. They got a great player come out for his senior year.
Yeah,
it's to do that's awesome.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Schuback. Could you imagine if he played for a couple years?
Yeah, exactly.
He's going already to a very good school in Hamilton, is Canarella. So second down on the field. Call it 6. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, Idle and Southside Bowl. Brian Calley, attorney. Cohen's looked very good in this game. A lot of time in that backfield. Finally hits his teammate Rosario, putting on the moves, the grooves. And finally, Canarella comes over for the county, makes the stop. And it looks like near the 10-yard line.
Cohen was looking all over the place. He had several checkdowns here. Looking left, he had 3 receivers over there. He saw Rosario, didn't want to pass it to him. Saw the defender spying on Rosario, but when the defender came to rush the quarterback, that left Rosario open. Cohen knew it, got it to Rosario. When Lex has the ball in his hands, he gets you first downs.
So we see some of the county players now switching to the defensive side, some of those that started on offense. So there you see county coach Brian McDonough. He played in this game as well, 2003 for Western Wayne. This is Pat Monahan looking towards the end zone, down to the 1.
Good running play on the outside there. Monahan putting on a lot of shifts and had a couple of blockers ahead of him. So we got them in good field position. The city down here will take 3 hacks at getting it across the goal line.
Monahan's pretty quick. The kids I was talking to a couple of the kids last week at their graduation party, and they said if he gets a seam, he's gone, they said. He's the quickest kid they've played against, they said.
Well, yeah, track championship in the 100 and 200. And he showed signs of that at North Pocono.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see now the city, Paul, goes back to that power I formation, and they're going to talk it over. Brian Fahey and company call timeout. So just about 4 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the first half.
Coach, Did you play in the Dream game?
I didn't. I actually, when I graduated, Susquehanna County Schools still weren't allowed to play. That we weren't in the Dream. And unfortunately, the year after I graduated, they let had Montrose and Susquehanna join the game. So it's something I went to playing because I knew some of the kids from other schools that played on it, and it's awesome this time of year. And I see some schools do it after the season, and it's freezing cold. But I mean, you can't beat a night like this, and it's kind of the kickoff to the season for us.
Well, and that's what it is. It kind of is. I mean, a lot of you mentioned like Unico and Wilkes-Barre, they do it at the end of the season. District 4 does it in June, but this is really the start of the new season as we say goodbye to the seniors.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, all the kids, even up our way, they get excited. I mean, I sell the tickets like crazy up there. So
good.
And having 4 guys in it helps. You know, plenty of families coming down to support them and old coaches, and so it's nice.
Of course, the money raised tonight, everything taken at the tickets goes to the Lackawanna Blind Association. So a good charity there, getting some good money. So back on the field after the timeout, City knocking on the door. We're tied at 6. And back to that power eye. Let's see, the flag was down because the fullback wasn't set. Rules are a little bit loose there. I don't see a flag. Loose rules, you know. Wasn't set, but that's all right.
It was Cohen going straight ahead, and some of the City players think he got across the line, but we never saw a touchdown indication. So it's going to be 3rd down now. Inches to go. Cohen thinks he got across the line. He's making a case for himself.
Well, 2nd down coming up.
We'll see if they go with a power backfield here.
Of course, there you see all the stickers, and that's one of the big things that the kids love to exchange the stickers and wear that helmet the last time. You see some kids from Scranton with West on it, and Prep has Scranton and Dunmore on it. And, you know, tonight you're not a rival anymore. You're a team. Power eye again. Touchdown, Rosario, Delaware Valley, and they put City back on top.
Well, he had 2 big guys leading the way up front for him that time, Rawlings and Pabst, and a guy like Rosario can get there even without them. But with them, well, he's basically unstoppable, and that was a good 6 points for the City team and a chance for the extra points to go up by 7.
So nice to see Rosario and Delaware Valley get well represented. He gets a touchdown in this Dream game. I have it at 7 plays, 67 yards, Paul. Here's your kicker, and he missed the last one.
Yeah, he did.
There's not even a rush, coach.
I don't know. You know, he was a soccer player all through high school and sophomore year. His buddies were playing there. He got one and decided to come out, and we had a coach work with him a lot. And Steve Jess did a great job. He's actually going to your Sinus to kick for him next year.
So touchdown Rosario. So it's 13-6. Very good game so far. Paul?
Yeah, this has been competitive and more high scoring than last
year.
year.
So the guy who just scored the touchdown is down with our own Aaron Dugan.
That's right, Bob. Delaware Valley's Lex Rosario. You look like you're having a good time out here tonight, are you?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. It's nice to be back on the field.
How much fun is it to play with your quarterback?
Oh, I miss playing with Brett. I'm going to miss him next year a lot.
How about this week? What was practice like? Are you getting to know some of the guys from the other team?
Yeah, we've been hanging out with a lot of the prep kids, a lot of Dunmore kids, Scranton. We hang out pretty much every day after practice.
What's in your future?
I'm going to go to Westchester and play football.
Awesome. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All-league player. Westchester, one of the tops in the PSAC, Paul. They're getting a very good player in Delaware Valley. It's Lex Rosario.
And not only that, Westchester features their running back very heavily. They are a running team. They've had a good history of running backs there. So if they think Rosario can play for them, that is a high compliment.
So, Coach, quick, let's talk about Division III. How do you see it playing out this year? I mean, Old Forge has a lot of kids back, and they're obviously probably one of the favorites, again, in Class A, but also in your division.
Yeah,
but what about the rest of it?
Old Forge, obviously, I think was going to be the clear-cut favorite this year. With especially us and Trail, we lost a lot of guys. I think Carbondale is going to surprise some people. They had a lot of young kids last year playing for them, and I think they're going to surprise some people. And even Holy Cross, I was talking to Coach Waters, and he said they're getting good turnout. So.
Good. That's good for them because I know it's been tough. They had a forfeit game. Again, here's Haynes in the open. Kyle Haynes turning on the Jets. Gets over midfield. The tackle by the kicker. But the County has excellent field position again. Inside the 50 at the Old City 48-yard line.
He looked like a track star there. 6'2", 200 pounds. Give him some room to run. He's just going to accelerate. Nothing fancy here. He says, I'm going to beat you with speed. And he does that. He gets it into city territory for the County to start their second drive in a row on the City 49.
Well, Amanda Cool has another County representative. Who do you have?
I'm joined by the starting quarterback, Tyler Shea. Tyler, Mid-Valley, football and track. How does track help you in your football game?
It helped my arm strength a lot by doing a bunch of arm exercises for javelin and training, and lifting weights for like special arm exercises.
Nice. Let's talk about the excitement down here on the sidelines. It is crazy. We just saw Kyle Haynes run the ball. Talk about that.
Yeah, Kyle Haynes, he's a freak athlete. Give him the ball and he could do anything. It's crazy.
Talk about what an honor it is for you to be named the starting quarterback in the 81st annual Scranton Lions Dream Game.
Yeah, it's a huge honor. I was surprised when Coach told me that I was starting. I wasn't really expecting it, but I'm glad that he made the choice.
Tyler, two guys that are here playing with you today are both heading to Moravian with you. What was that like playing with them tonight?
It's a great bonding experience before we go to college and play the next 4 years of our football lives together.
I heard one of them is going to be your future roommate?
Yeah, Gage Bennett. Me and him grew up together. We played on this field as little Cougars, so it's good to get back with them and hang out and stuff.
Tyler, best of luck in college. We'll be following Tyler at his career at Moravian. Guys, up to you.
Well, if he stays in that quarterback position, he might have a big lineman up front to watch. Tim Drew's headed to Moravian. 6'3", 280 from Dunmore, of course. He's starting tackle tonight on the City side.
Tyler Bergsma also going to Moravian as well. And he mentioned Gage Bennett. I guess Moravian has scouts in this area.
I guess last year was their sinus. Everyone was going there, so it was odd. It's strange. But talk about recruiting. You probably get calls for people. Obviously, Austin going to college, some of your other kids. What's it like seeing the kids around the area? And is football really down around here for kids going to college? A lot of baseball players have gone recently.
I don't think it's down. I'm not sure if we get the top Division I schools all the way around here all the time, but I think there's tons of kids that are going to play Division II and Division III, and I think it's great to be well represented in the area. And I have kids, like you said, Kempo is, I think he played a pivotal role in Austin going to Kings because he had a lot of guys coming to look for him. So, and plenty of coaches call. I think the big thing as a coach, you just have to, whoever you think has a possibility, get his name out there, and hopefully somebody calls about him.
And we neglect that part, but that's part of a coach's job. You've got to sell your kid a little bit, maybe make some contacts with the college coaching staffs, and get your player into a good school. There's work involved with that.
There is. It's a lot of work, but it's so rewarding when you hear like Austin or Steve is going to play at the next level, and just knowing that those coaches are getting quality kids and being honest with the coaches is the biggest thing that I think I've tried to make sure I'm not feeding them any bad news about it.
Well, I think what's helped too, technology has helped.
Oh yeah,
Huddle and coaches now from colleges can hear about a player and go right to the video.
Yeah, and that's great when you can just email a coach a Huddle highlight film and anything like that. I know Huddle has helped us tremendously up in Susquehanna.
Right. A rural
as far
school.
as film and everything like that too, just with the kids. Kids are watching film on Sunday, and they don't have the half-hour drive to the locker room to try and watch film. So that's huge. But I can just imagine the recruiting process. It's great for all the college coaches.
Well, you talk about how things have changed, and this game is 81 years old. There was a time players wanted to be in this game because college scouts would come to watch, and guys would get scholarship offers off of this game. Yep. Now, they often played in November or December. But it's even happened in the summer playing of this game as well. That's really the history of these high school football all-star games, a chance to get the attention of a college scout.
Exactly, yeah. It's still, it's not too late, obviously. Like you said, I think we had a call a couple years ago for a kid. The coach called before I was coaching about he had a great game in the Dream Game, and I think we had a call for him from a couple colleges because he wasn't planning on playing football anywhere. So.
Well, yeah, if there's openings at some colleges, then they're saying they either got some financial aid or help. It helps a kid get some money you know, it doesn't matter the school. You just, you know, you get that chance, you might have a play. Of course, this dream game played first back in 1935. The County won that one, 12 to nothing.
Were you here, Bob? Was it cold
I
that
was.
day?
It was. No, it was hot like this. Mallory, another pump fake. Look at the Henses overthrown. Mallory's really working on that pump fake today. One for a touchdown. That one just overthrown a bit. Brings up 4th down now.
I'm happy to see a lot of passing. District 2, the Lackawanna League, known as a ground and pound conference. Some teams don't pass at all. 5 pass attempts a game is high for some teams. We've seen a balance of pass and run today. I like that. I'd like to see more passing. I'd like to see the offenses open up more throughout District 2 and throughout all of Pennsylvania.
So 4th down, brings on Canarella again. They're a nice crowd, great crowd. Probably another 6,000 to 7,000 people here. Of course, all the money going to charity. And as you said, it's kind of the start of high school football season. I think people miss it. Of course, the NFL camp's getting underway, and, you know, you can just feel it. You feel football coming. That was Ramon Fields from Scranton. Taking it a knee. So the city has 90 seconds of opportunity to see if they want to extend their lead. So, Coach, I have to ask you, we'll talk about a little bit halftime, the expansion process. Of course, it really doesn't affect you too much because you're a small school. It does even it out, though. They're talking about 6 classifications. Where's a small school like Susquehanna stand on that?
Well, I think it's time. I mean, every other, what's there, 9 or 10, I think, states left with 4 classes or smaller. There's such talented teams in this area. I mean, how many years have we had in the past 3 or 4 where Dunmore and Old Forge are 2 teams that could make a state run, and they're losing out because they're both in the same district. So I think it's time to go to 6 classifications, 5, whatever they're looking at.
That was Austin White trying to get it down to his teammate, Craig Stanley. Talk about him a little bit.
Yep, Craig was a wide receiver defensive back for us. Obviously, like you said, we don't pass the ball that much, so his numbers weren't great. But he was the first team Division III All-Star for cornerback. I think he had 4 or 5 interceptions last year. And he's not a big kid, but he's pretty quick, long-distance speed-wise. So.
Great defense by Brandon Vahey there, 5'11", 180 defensive back from Old Forge. Lots of speed. We've said Vahey's name a lot over the past couple of years, and that time he made tight coverage.
That he did. 3 wideouts now for the city team. White with running room. Good job keeping his head up. Just going to make that pass complete.
Maybe a late hit in there as the flag flies after the ball is released.
So a penalty coming up. Looks like Bardo might have been in there for Valley View. We'll see if we can see it again. And Mike Sayre the call.
Foul, roughing the passer on the defense. 15 from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, that changes the situation here from a place where the city would be punting now and the county would be getting the ball to the city getting a first down here. And with 1:17 left and the way they've been passing the ball, they can get down the field and get another score.
Chased by Suryavong in there from Old Forge. So the 15 yards will take it up to the 33-yard line, so it opens up a little bit. Now for Austin White. 3rd down, 10 on the way. Actually, it should be first down. So automatic first, and it changes on the scoreboard, and we're ready to go. Austin White in from Susquehanna. Tipped at the line. Falls incomplete. Jordan Hannon might have got a little paw on that.
Looking for Sample over the middle there, and Sample was open, but someone got a hand in there and deflected the ball up in the air. That's dangerous because it can always be an interception. That one landed on the ground.
White's going to have to ice his arm after tonight.
Yeah,
he's not used to throwing this much.
He hasn't thrown this much since probably a 7-on-7 tournament we were in. But.
So 3 wideouts again.
all to the near side. And
we're starting to see some
flag in there,
sloppiness here.
Yep, to call a quick timeout on the field. Okay. And City want to look over. That's their second timeout of the half. So minute 10 left here before the half.
They didn't want to have to use that timeout because the clock was stopped here. And you want to save your timeouts heading into the half in case the clock is ticking and you want to run or play on offense. So loss of a timeout here. They still have 2 remaining, and they have 70 seconds to get that ball down the field and score here before the half.
There's the crowd. Everyone's packed in here.
Yeah,
nice,
we're going over
facility.
7,000, and that's just in the seats. The bleachers are packed here, filled up. You should see the people circling and walking around and lined up against the fence, 2 deep at the entrance end of the stadium, 1 deep at the scoreboard end of the stadium.
Coach, you may want to turn away. Talk about Old Forge over the last 4 years. Boy, what success. 47-7 over that time. A run to the district championship. Lost to North Catholic in that one. Runner-up couple times, District 2 Class A champs. What a 4-year run for Old Forge. I know you get to see them all the time. Yep. Mike Schubeck does a nice job down there. And these seniors have played on all these teams. And you can leave with a record of 47 wins. You had a good high school career.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's what Coach Schubeck does. I mean, obviously their tradition is huge down there, and big, strong kids. Even if they're big kids, they're always strong. They're always physical up front. And they always play really fundamental football. So it's tough to beat them.
And like we said a minute ago, Old Forge, we expect them to be good again this year.
White this time caught. And speaking of Old Forge, the big defensive end, A.J. Canarella, puts his big hands on Austin White for a sack, a loss of about 5, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And the clock will continue to tick, and now they're going to take that timeout. Sure, that's a delayed timeout. They lost 10 seconds waiting to call that timeout. It's the defense taking the timeout.
Jake Bukowski from Dubmore couldn't stop the Old Forge defensive tackle, and Canarella playing very well, headed to Hamilton College, 6'7", 220. And I think he even has more room to get bigger if you think about it. I mean, I saw him in person a couple times and in that practice this week, and he's a specimen. I mean, he's someone you can groom now at the college level and make you even a better defensive end, because he just looks like that prototype.
He does, for sure. And like we said, he only played 1 year of football, so he probably doesn't have too many bad habits. He's like fresh, and you can do what you want with him. But yeah, he's a big kid.
37 tackles, 7 sacks a year ago, 23 catches, and 4 touchdowns, helping the Old Forge Blue Devils to a District 2 Class A title. So another timeout on the field, Paul. 49 seconds in the half.
I don't think that the county team had the defense on the field that they want for this situation, which is 3rd and 15. Certainly City's going to go up top here, pass the ball, and probably a deep pass at that.
Big rush, White downfield, into the double coverage, goes out of bounds. So that'll bring up 4th down. So chance for the county. You put Haynes back there, punt return, and might get a good field position out of this, Paul.
So we have an interesting situation this week. If you follow the lunar tables at all, we will have
the blue moon.
A blue moon this week. Coach Cook, are you familiar with the definition of a blue moon?
I'm not. I just
and it's
saw
not
that
the
online
beer
today.
that you drink.
I know.
It's if you have a full moon twice in 1 month, they call that a blue moon, and it happens every 3-4 years.
Yep.
So that's where the saying goes: once in a blue moon, and that will be this week.
And it will. And the punt is away. They'll let it roll. So good kick by the City, and will go all the way to the 25. So maybe not the field position that the county, would have wanted. So we'll see if they're going to take it in at halftime or if they'll run the clock out. They do get the ball to begin the second half, does the team in red from the county.
All right, Coach Cook, if you're the coach down there and you have the ball with 32 seconds left in the half and you're on your own 25, you kneel it out or you go up top here and try for some fireworks?
I think you got to try something. Maybe just a draw, something maybe catch them off guard. But you got some talented receivers on that side of the ball, so I think you got to go up top. Throw one up to Canarella down the sidelines where only he can get it. See if he can gain some yards that way.
So they'll spread the offense and they'll go from the shotgun, and we're going to put this ball up in the air.
Mallory in. Hit as he throws.
And the city saw it coming the whole way, too. They were expecting that. They were lined up for it. They got the bull rush going. They got the penetration, and they got to the quarterback.
That might have been O'Hearn in there.
So now the same situation, only it's second down.
Jordan O'Hearn out of Scranton with the sack. 15 tackles for a loss his senior year with the Knights. Now, what are you thinking? Take a knee? You're getting the ball to begin the second half.
Going trips left here. So still a passing formation, only not out of the shotgun. They're under center.
Look quick out to Haynes. Picks up some couple blocks. Makes a move, and Sample promptly nails him out of bounds.
He did not get out of bounds. They're continuing the clock, and now a timeout will stop the clock.
17 seconds left.
And the county takes their last timeout, so they're out of timeouts now. The county will have to get first downs or get out of bounds here. 17 seconds to go, and they trail by 7.
So Brian Fahey brings his team over. Boy, what a job by the, and coming up at the half on my TV, halftime report, we'll have an interview about some expansion throughout the state with Chris Kaharski from the PA Football News, who's here. We'll also talk to representatives from the Lions Club and also the Man of the Year, who will be honored at halftime, Anthony Donato, the former coach around the area. And that's coming up at the half here on my TV. What a job by the coaches, though. You're doing the 7-on-7s, you're doing the conditioning or whatever. You're with your teams. What you can do under PIAA rules, and in the morning, and then as soon as you're done with practice, you got to worry about another team. So it does rotate throughout, but a nice job by Brian Fahey and Donnie McDonough from Western Wayne. Doing a juggling act.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like.
Well, you may be there.
Maybe someday, but just trying to, and obviously with the summer vacations, kids go on, kids miss it. So I can just imagine how hard of a job.
Well, I think the hardest part too is finding players, because 4 or 5 kids at the last minute didn't want to play. You got to recoup your losses there, and it's up to some of the coaches to find the players as Mallory goes down.
Yeah, I had 2 kids, Steve Jess and Craig Stanley, both late add-ons this year because kids couldn't play or didn't want to. So,
well, Coach Kyle Cook from Susquehanna, good luck this year. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the game.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, we're at the half. We'll get a word from both coaches as they head in. It's the City who score the touchdown in the second quarter, and they lead this one 13-6. Let's go down to Amanda now with the county coach.
Coach, a huge first half for Kyle Haynes.
Yeah, we know he's our guy. We like getting them the ball, but I think now we're going to have to start utilizing some of those other wide receivers and Henses, because they're going to start playing, probably extra careful on where Haynes is on the field. So, proud of him. He's a beast out there. So,
Coach, do you find it hard with any of the limitations on defense?
Not really. We had some rule difficulties, some stuff that we probably misinterpreted during the week of practice, like covering a punt. But the referees have a good idea of what the rules are, so they're keeping the defensive guys in line.
Thank you, Coach. Okay. Aaron, over to you.
Well, Coach, it can sometimes be hard to get offenses to click in this type of a game, but you guys are getting some things going. What did you think of the first half?
Well, I mean, I thought it was a good half on both sides, city and county. I think offensively for our own personnel, I think we need to execute a little bit better in the run game, getting off the line of scrimmage. Credit to the county's defensive line. They're doing a good job of getting off blocks. So that'll be a little bit of a priority to discuss at halftime. But, you know, some of the talented kids out here are making plays on both sides of the ball, so it's kind of what we expected.
Competition aside, how much fun are you and the kids having?
We are. You know, I think the nerves over the heat, and now that the sun's down, all of that stuff is behind us, and now we're just kind of back to being football coaches, and, you know, we're enjoying it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Amanda, and thank you to the coaches. So we come back. We'll talk to Chris Kaharski from the PA Football News, and then we'll have some highlights from the first half. It's 13-6 in the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
We are back at John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium. At the half, it's 13-6 City with the lead over the county. Well, joining us right now on the field with Amanda, Chris Kaharski from the NPF Sports Network and PA Football News. Amanda?
Thanks, Bob. Chris, you know football more than anybody. What are you impressed with tonight from all these guys out there?
Well, you know, it was an entertaining first half. Kids were hitting hard, playing hard. I thought really the city got a spark from Brett Cohen, the quarterback from Delaware Valley, and they made some big plays in the passing game. But, you know, the county bounced back as well. I think it's going to be an interesting second half.
What do you think we can expect to see in the second half?
Well, I think both teams calmed down after their initial jitters. The offenses got going back a little bit. I think we're going to see actually more offense in that second half. I think both defenses played pretty well, but I think once the offenses regroup, I think we're going to see some more scoring.
Let's take a look into next season. What do you expect to see from District 2 football?
Well, it's going to be an interesting season. I think there's a lot more parity, both in the Wyoming Valley Conference and the Lackawanna Conference. I don't know if we're going to have another Dunmore or Old Forge who heads to Hershey this year. It's always a possibility. But I'm more looking forward to some of the athletes and watching them step up. This is a chance for some kids who haven't had the opportunities in the past to become seniors and become leaders on the field. And that's always what I like to focus on, is see these kids accomplish things in their senior years.
So tell us what you're hearing about the expansion in the PIAA.
Well, you know, this has been talked about for a while. They're talking about going to 6 classes in PIAA football, also shortening the season. You know, the people I've talked to out of Mechanicsburg have said that, you know, this has a lot of positive momentum, that they think there's a good chance that this could go through. And it wouldn't start till the next cycle, which starts in 2016. But what it would do, it would spread out the actual how many teams make the playoffs, less teams in each classification. And actually, Pennsylvania is one of the highest classifications in the country. They have more teams in classifications than any other state except one. So it's not really going to water things down too much. It's actually going to bring them on par with everybody else.
Chris, what do you think about shortening the season? I mean, we're out here now in the heat. What do you think that's like for the guys come doubles?
Yeah, I mean, again, safety is a big factor for the school districts with liability and that type of thing. And, you know, I don't think a lot of the coaches will be against it. In fact, out in Pittsburgh when I was out there, they play 9 regular season games, and the 10th game is the playoffs. So it's not unheard of. I think that the coaches would probably be open to it, especially if it's an option for them to play a 10th game if they'd like to.
Chris, thank you so much. Bob, back up to you in the booth.
Thank you, guys. When we come back, we'll have highlights from the first half and get you through some stats. It's 13-6, City over the county. Welcome back to the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game. Bob Ide and Paul Grippy in the booth, 13-6 City at the half. Paul, your impressions of that first half? I thought it was very entertaining and a little more competitive than I thought it might be.
It was, and it was back and forth, and one team took the lead, then they were tied, and then another team took the lead, and that's where we are here at halftime. So it was entertaining. We saw some big plays, and we saw some good old-fashioned grinded-out football. Looks like the guys are having a lot of fun, and it's a good night here at the Ball Yard.
And the heat doesn't seem like it's affecting anything yet. So let's take a look at some of those first-half highlights.
Okay, so we got the scoring started with the city and Sal Marquez diving in. That made the score 6-0 on a missed extra point, but Marquez was pretty happy. It took a while for that to come, but they finally were able to get that done and get that late in the first quarter. The County answered right back, starting on their own 49-yard line, and they went down for a touchdown. Mallory to Haynes. That one went for 38 yards, and Haynes made it look easy. Missed extra point there, so that made it tied at 6-6. But then late in the half, it was Rosario for the City team, going off of right tackle and in for the go-ahead touchdown, and that has us where we are here at halftime, 13-6. So back and forth, and no one has really dominated. Statistically, I think City's a little bit better, but on the scoreboard, they're only up by 7.
And that's all that matters. Statistically, total offense, 181-73. City's gained 39 yards on the ground to 23 for the County, and then through the air, 142-50. But as Paul mentioned, scores 13-6. County gets the ball to begin the second half. We'll take a timeout, and we'll talk to our man of the year on the other side. We're at the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
Half. We thank you so much for watching. And joining me now is a very special guest. This is the man of the hour, Anthony Dip Donato, just named man of the year from the Lions Club. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What does this mean to you?
Well, it's quite an honor. You know, like I said at the half here, played the game, I coached in the game, and it's just an exciting night for the kids that are involved in this game. It's really exciting for these kids.
Not only did you play in the game, coach in the game, you're also a student manager. You won all 3. I think you have the golden touch.
I don't know about that, but you know, it's something you remember all the rest of your life. We play with kids that you've played against for 4 years, 3 years, and you make a lot of good friendships in this game that carry on. I mean, we still to this day hang out with guys that we played in the Dream Game with, and it's quite an honor to be chosen for the game and to play in it.
So I heard that you were the receiver for the winning catch of the Dream Game in 1972.
1972, yes, caught the winning touchdown in the game from my high school quarterback, Joe Marciano, who is now an assistant coach in the NFL.
So cool. And you still talk to all the guys you played with?
We talk to everybody, a lot of the guys that we play, we still keep in touch with. And again, they become good friends of yours.
To talk about it being such a great cause here tonight, it's all for the Association for the Blind. Just tell us what the Lions Club does.
Well, the Lions Club does a lot for the kids in the game, and you can see, the results with the amount of people that are here. It's for a great cause for the blind, for the Association for the Blind, and again, and I think that's what the main goal. Whether you win or lose the game, it does mean a lot to the kids. But after it's all said and done, it's for a great cause for the Blind Association. I think everybody's a winner.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your honor, and thanks for stopping to chat with us.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll have much more when we come right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Before we get the second half started, we have another special guest. This is Jerry Prosciutti, the Dream Game coordinator. Now, Jerry, this is your 36th year involved with this game. Yes. Does it keep getting more and more fun?
It's always fun. It's giving you an opportunity to give back to the community, organize this game, put some integrity into the process for selecting coaches and things like that. So it's really a passion of love for me.
I understand you have a lot of family ties to the game as well, with sons and cousins.
Yeah, we do. I was fortunate to coach in this game, play in this game. Both my sons played in this game. So it's been a kind of a family thing for our family, for sure.
So tell us about your man of the year this year for the Lions Club, and what made you decide on him?
Well, I've known Dip for a long time, 36 years, and he's well-deserving. He's always been a class guy, a good football coach, a good person, and I thought he was very, very deserving of this award for this year, no question.
We talked a little bit earlier about the attendance here tonight. There's just so many people here. What does it mean to the kids to see so much support around them?
Well, at the brunch Sunday, I shared a story that, when you come out here in front of over 7,000 people, it's a special opportunity. And it's really special for these kids to be in this game. And I said, when you get a chance like this to do something special, don't pass it up. And they're enjoying it.
Well, great job on all your many decades of hard work. Here's to 36 more years, right?
Hopefully. Hope I'm around 36 years. But as long as I'm around, I'll keep working on this. And I appreciate all your coverage that you do.
Sure. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
All right, Bob, let's get this game started.
Absolutely. Thank you to Jerry and the entire Lions Club committee. for letting us broadcast this game. And what a crowd on hand. They talked about it, over 7,000 people once again enjoying a summer night here at Valley View, Paul. And as we said, a very, very good football game.
They are enjoying that. They're enjoying being out on a warm summer night, and they're enjoying thinking about football, the anticipation of the football season. You know, it's summer vacation. These kids, a lot of them just graduated. A lot of them will be off to college. For some of them, this will be the last time they see their classmates, because in a week or two, they'll head off to college. So they all come here. They might have had some classmates playing in the game, so they come and support them. But if nothing else, it's a lot of teenagers on summer vacation who maybe might be a little bit bored at this point and anticipating going to college.
Yeah.
And a great chance for them to come here. If you look around the crowd, it's just it's a flood of teenagers. It's more than anything, it's teenagers here tonight.
And a lot of coaches as well. We'll be talking to Scranton head football coach Mike Marichak after the kick. So City cues it up. Steve Jess from Susquehanna will do the honors. Haynes back to receive from Western Wayne along with Jake Henzis. So we'll get this second half underway here in the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game, and it will be Haynes from the 2. Good speed. He's already broken one with last time, and
he is a real weapon for Coach Donnie McDonough. I mean, McDonough coached him all season, and so he knows what he's capable of. And so they're getting him the ball. Obviously, he's returning kicks there. They're also throwing him the ball. I think by now the county knows if they can get Haynes into open field, he's going to really be effective.
We'll see our third quarterback of the night for the county. We saw him on defense, Josh Labasso out of Honesdale, a 3-star athlete up there, but senior year, guiding the Hornets.
That was McDonough's plan, have one quarterback for each of the first 3 quarters and then decide on the fourth quarter depending on the game situation. We saw Shea more of a pocket passer, Mallory capable of running. Labasso's just a real athlete who can do lots of things.
And this is Thomas Setti, who's run the ball very effectively in that first half. Scott Gorton on the stop from Scranton, and that gives us a great segue to bring in Coach Marichak. And Coach, talk about first about Gorton, what he's meant to your program the last couple of years.
He's been a great kid. He's been around for a long time, and it's a whole family tradition. I told the kids earlier in this year, this is the first time in 8 years / 12 years that we don't have a Gordon on the team. But
that's right.
It's tough, but he's a great kid and a good football player.
I'm going to add to that, it'll be the first time in 8 years or 7 years you don't have McCarthy either. So.
That's true. And another guy, if you look out there, number 16, it's another 8 years that we haven't had a Pap. So there's 3 traditional families that they're represented in this game. And as you said with McCarthy, he could have been out here in this game, but he's off at school getting ready for his baseball career. But I had a great run with all those kids, and they all come from great families, and they're all great kids. So it was an enjoyable time coaching those kids.
But do you have some family traditions that are continuing or will be starting up in the next year or so?
I don't know. I told them, I said, why'd they stop short now? Because they were all good football players.
Yeah, very good football players. Jake McCarthy, of course, going to Virginia to play baseball. His brother already in the professional ranks, as we have a timeout on the field called by the county. A little mistake trying to figure out what's going on there.
The play clock was winding down here, and on 3rd and 8, with this field position, you didn't want to have to back it up and go long here. So a good use of a timeout here. County coming out, starting the second half with the ball, trailing by 7. During the half, they had time to design some things and come up with some plays and some ideas here. So they really want to focus on this drive as a chance to tie it up.
So some of the Knights here tonight, Brett Engelman in center, Jordan O'Hearn, Ramon Fields is in there, Charlie Paps, we talked about him, Scott Gorton is from Scranton. Am I missing anybody? Oh, and Victor Burns added at the last minute, also a track player, and he was from East Scranton. But first, let's head down to Aaron with another special guest from the Lions Club. Aaron?
That's right, Bob. I've got Bill Dempsey from the Lions Club, the co-chair for tonight's game. Your first year as co-chair, how are you liking it?
It's a really rewarding experience. As a player in the 2003 game on the representing the city team, Had a great experience, but I didn't really realize exactly how much work went into putting on tonight's game. So you find a great appreciation for what goes into tonight's game and all the hard work that the Lions Club puts in to get everything together for tonight.
And it seems like that's the theme with this game with all the guys I've talked to is you make friends that really do last a lifetime, maybe friends that you wouldn't normally think that you'd get along with.
Right, yeah, I was able to play with my teammates from prep. We had a great time, but you're able to play with some of the guys you're rivals with for years past who you never thought you'd become friends with, and you really do become friends. They're still my friends now. But then you also have those rivals who are on the county team who stay your rivals. And it's nice to get out on there, and it's the last game like I ever played, a lot of guys ever play, so it's a good way to end your career.
Absolutely, but it's really all about such a wonderful cause. Talk about the money raised for the Association for the Blind.
Right, it really is. The Lackawanna Blind Association is the recipient of all of tonight's proceeds. So last year we were able to give over $20,000 to the Lackawanna Blind Association, and it really is rewarding to put all of this together and have it go to such a great cause.
That's fantastic. Enjoy your first year as co-chair.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back to the game.
Well, another high kick for Canarella. Takes a bounce, and the city will have their first possession of the second half. Looks like around their own 33-yard line. So before I went to Aaron, Coach, 6 or 7 kids playing here tonight. I don't know if you could talk about all of them, but what are they meant to the Knights program over the last couple of years?
These guys have been great kids. I think, what'd you say? I think there's 6 of them. 5 of them have been 3-year starters for us. So we've lost a lot with those kids. And not just were they great kids and great football players, but they were good leaders. And, they were good kids off the field as well as on the field. So we're going to miss a lot of those kids. And I'm very proud of them. And they're representing Scranton pretty well tonight. So I'm, hopefully they continue the success tonight.
Oh, you played against Delaware Valley every year. And, you have Cohen in there, Rosario. What was it like playing those teams coached by Keith Olsemer?
Great. We're battling back and forth the last 2 years, and as you said, they're tough kids. That Rosario kid, I love that kid. He's a great football player. Cohen's a good, tough player. The other kid that's not in here, Wagner, who made the team, but I tell you what, he was a heck of a ball player too. So it's nice to see, and they were practicing down as well as we're getting ready for the preseason. But we see those kids down there, and it's pretty neat to see, our kids and their kids, slapping high fives and hugging each other and having a good time, and that's what the game is all about.
There you see the stop in there by Farquhar from Lackawanna Trail, number 23. A nice stop. So second down for the city. Breck Cohen is the quarterback from Delaware Valley, as we talked about him. And there is Lex Rosario, who has a touchdown already in this game. There you see some of the players who are participating tonight. About 33 on each side, 34. And now Amanda has a special guest on the county sideline. Amanda.
It's a truly special night for Jake Henzis. Last night playing at the stadium that's named after your great-grandfather.
It's a huge honor to be able to play in this stadium. Being named actually after my great-grandfather, it's a big honor for my entire family for them to be able to watch me play my last high school game in the stadium.
You come from a long line of football history here in Lackawanna County. Your brother played in the game, your dad. Talk about the advice you got from your family going into tonight.
Just to enjoy it. It's a special moment. It's a moment that you're never going to get again, and being humble about it. This is such a humbling experience, being able to play in such a fraternity of people who've played in this game is a tremendous honor, and they really told me that to be humble and really enjoy every second of it.
Who are some of the guys that you met through this game that you'll continue to talk with?
I have my brother, John Zubek from Abington Heights, but I think probably the guys I've come close with, AJ Canarella, Vic Mallory, Cooper Roshak, Kyle Haynes. Those are going to be my brothers for the rest of my life. I'm very close to those kids.
Thank you, Jake. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, back up to you in the booth.
Thank you, Amanda. We have an injured county player. We'll take a quick timeout. We're in the third quarter here in the Dream Game. A lot of girls move to New York City to make it. Max and Caroline are just trying to make their rent. From Emmy Award and Golden Globe winner Michael Patrick King, Two Broke Girls, one of television's top comedies, comes to Fox 56 5 nights a week this September. Andrew Slazinski from Western Wayne, the injured county player, looks like they're holding his right arm, so he may be done for the night, and that could be a big loss for them. He's played very well. Coach Mayerchak, I know you don't get to see Western Wayne a lot, but been impressed by this kid. Right off the bat, he made some great plays.
Yeah, he's a big boy. That's why I was just checking to see his size. I said, wow, I was impressed with him early on. It looked like they had a hard time blocking him earlier. And the kid that impresses me from Western Wayne is that Haynes kid. He's a good ball player. I was impressed with him. Like you said, you don't get to see a lot of these kids, but there's some good football players out here.
Absolutely.
Slozinski 6'4", 240. Haynes 6'2", 200. And Slozinski really has wreaked havoc. Haynes has a touchdown for the county. And we're going to get a punt here.
So it looks like a 3-and-out for their first possession for the city. Up 13-6 in this one.
Now, Coach, let's get your opinion. The big talk this offseason, expansion to 6 classes in the state. You guys right now are a 4A school, a big school. So what they're talking about directly affects you guys more than a lot of the Class A and AA schools we have around here. So what's the thinking as to why they want to do that?
I'm not really sure. I think they want to try to get, I think, for instance, around here, we're one of the bigger quad A's, but you go down to Allentown and Philadelphia, it's very hard for us. I mean, if they do the 700 plus, that puts us in a category where we're playing teams our same size, such as the Del Valleys and the Valley West, and well, Hazelton will bump up, but teams like that, and then you go down to the Pocono Mountain West, East, and we can, against those teams, I think we can compete. But, and we scrimmage Easton. last year we go into Eastern Conference, we play Emmaus. They're a very good football team. They're 5-5 in their league because they're battling the week in and week out. But they have teams that are, they're double the size of us. Then some of them are even triple, like, the Parkland. Then you go to Philly and you got teams that are even quadruple the size of us. So it's very difficult in Quad A for us. So if they do this, I think they're going to get more teams from, if it goes up to a 6 classification, we'll probably be, with the 700 plus, we'll probably be in the 5A class, which teams our size, which I think we can compete in. But when you go into, if it's a 6A and they keep the numbers as, we're the biggest one here and they keep us up, I think we're still going to have around here we can be successful. But when you go down to Allentown and Philadelphia area and then, go to Pittsburgh area, whatever, it's very difficult for us. So, that's what I'm thinking that is. And like you said, I don't think it's going to affect the smaller schools.
Right. No, it shouldn't. And really, it's some of the things that you just pointed out, that a school like Scranton can win District 2, where there isn't a lot of competition among schools your size, go outside the district, and now you're playing schools that are a lot bigger. And not only that, the opponents come from leagues where every week they play a school their size. There are sometimes you guys have a hard time. You have to go into District 11, Monroe County, and that conference sometimes to find opponents.
Yeah, and I think we can compete in that the Pocono Mountain one. Now you go on, like I said, we go east, and that's a battle. The first one, I love doing that because I want to see where you're at, how tough of our kids, how good are you. But when you go in again, a lot of those other teams, the speed is incredible, the size of the kids, and it's not anything to take away from our kids, but it's just different. And and you got a bigger pool of kids to choose. And the thing that impresses me, a lot of people don't know this. I'll never forget it. We go down to Easton. They have a JV game. Or our JV kids are going, not JV, I always call our seconds our JV if you're not a senior. We go out there, they have 60 kids out there. And I see, we go through our JV and our 15 core kids are over there getting stretched. All of a sudden, those 60 kids are off to the side and they're gone, and another 60 come out, and that's their varsity team. So that's the thing that I said, wow, what a difference where, we have good numbers. We have 65 to 75 kids, but, they're, most of the kids, if they're younger, they're playing JV regardless. The younger kids don't play.
Labasso to Henzis. He coughs it up. Fumble on the field, recovered by the city.
It looked like the county was going to break a big one. He possibly could have taken that to the end zone, but dropped the ball, and the city comes away with it here. Let's look at it again.
Victor Burns from Scranton pulls it up.
So terrific pass by Labasso, right on the numbers to Henzis, just over the reach of the defense. But as Henzis is being brought down for the tackle, he coughs up the ball. He was not out of bounds.
Another Scranton. Gordon pulled it out.
Yep, Scott Gorton with the tackle that forced that fumble, and Victor Burns on the recovery. And so now the city has prime opportunity on their own 41.
Track kid Victor going to ESU to play football, is he, or track?
Yeah, yes, he's going to play football.
Good for him.
ESU.
Division II PSAC. So city comes out. Rosario from White makes the catch, picks up 11 inside county territory.
They got a first down, and he's across the 50. Coach, I want to finish up the thought now on the expansion. We're talking they would, if they do it for the 2016 season, right? Not for 2015. They go in 2-year cycles?
Yes, 2-year cycles.
Okay, so they'll talk about this all season and then maybe do it in 2016, and then we'll see how things shake down from there.
Yeah.
But you're in favor of it from what you've heard of now?
I would say, yeah, if they're going to do the 700 plus. Other than that, we fit in the 600. We'll go down below. If they put us as the biggest one around here, and they put us into the highest classification, then we're still at the same boat we are right now.
Yeah,
so it really doesn't change much.
Right.
Christian Sylvanus on the tackle, and Amanda Cool down on the county sideline with another special guest. Amanda.
Hey guys, I'm joined by Kyle Haynes once again. Kyle, you had a huge first half for the county. What's the plan going into the second half?
Well, we just got to execute what we practiced all week to do with our teammates, and we just got to play solid defense and execute on offense.
Kyle, we talked about you going to SHIP in the fall. SHIP is a huge Division II powerhouse with 2 guys who played in the Pro Bowl this year in the NFL. What made you pick Shippensburg?
I went down for my camp, and I just love the atmosphere, and I executed really well in my camp. And it was just a good feeling, so I chose that school.
And we'll see you as a wide receiver at Shippensburg?
Yes.
All right, Matt, get back out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Kyle Haynes with a touchdown. Probably one of the best moves of the night we saw, Paul.
So the city here with a dangerous situation, 2nd and short, and an offense can call any play here, and they go conservative.
Up the right side, Rosario, but that county defense steps in. Host of players in there. Jasper Kavich from Honesdale in on the tackle.
Coach, you've played in the Dream game?
Yeah, in '89, played for. Actually, Deb Donato was an assistant coach there, and Coach Nicky Donato was our coach. We actually lost 7-6. It was a tough one.
And that was for Scranton Tech, right?
That was the Tech, yeah, in 1989.
Before the merger.
Before the merger, yep.
Yep.
Actually, a lot of people aren't going to know this year, but we're on our design of our helmets. We have white helmets this year, and we have our Scranton S, and then on the one side it's going to be the Central C,
okay.
And on the other side is the Tech T, and underneath it's 25 years since we combined. So that's they're doing a little traditional thing for them.
That's terrific. That's terrific because we're still of the generation now where the people who are parents now were Tech and Central. We're starting to have students who graduated from Scranton High, obviously become parents. But if you're a teenager, your parents remember Tech and Central.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Jeff Burton from Lakeland is on the sidelines getting looked at. We hope he's okay. That's for the county team. On the field, the 4th down call now for the city. I formation. They'll hand it off to Rosario. Big push, and he gets it. A big line in there for the city.
And hard-hitting game when you played, or was it intense, or how did you guys approach it?
Yeah, it was. It was a hard-hitting game. It was a tough game. It was actually a night like this. I think there was I remember it was a huge thunderstorm. We had like an hour delay in '89, and then it was humid and hot, and it was a tough game. It was. There were some good football players in that game, but same thing as young Henges there said, it's a great tradition. A lot of these guys, you were competing against them, but then you became friends, and to this day right now, you see the guys you played with, and you still talk to them about the game, and you never forget it. It's a great tradition.
Steve McMinn, a big push for Dunmore on the city offensive line. They pick up a 1st down, and they're still on the move, and flag comes in. So we talked about who you lost. Lost 6 players. Is the cover bare at Scranton? I was at one of your practices the other day. You're getting fit. You looked okay. Got some good size.
Yeah, we do. We have a good core of kids back. Jacob Watts kid who stepped in when Jake got hurt. He's back. My nephew John Mirchek's back. My tight end Dylan Granahan. We have 2 guys up front that are pretty good. And Nate Corby is back. So we have a good core of seniors back, and we have some good young athletes, but they're a little raw. So we got our hands full. But if things come together, we might be all right.
Here's White on a little option. Sawyervong with the big hit on Austin White. Loss of 3 or 4. Brings up a 2nd down. How about the Lackawanna Football Conference Division I? How do you see that playing out this year?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that are around the same. I think Del Valley's going to be tough because they have the numbers. We have the numbers too. We have some good kids. I think North Pocono's going to be a little better. West is going to be a little better. Abington's going to be as good as they always are. Prep is a pretty tough team. Paul Pack's going to be a very tough football team in Valley View. So I think all of us are around the same. So there's no clear cut.
Yeah.
Big time team that a lot of times they return a lot of guys and you got to say, wow, this team's we got to watch this team. So I think we're all around the same. It should be a good, interesting year.
Yeah, Valley View had a down year last year, but they always do well up here. Well, Paul Pack, they're building a nice program up there as they get over to Scranton Prep. Kevin Sample, big catch, just short of a first down. I think they might mark it right at the first down marker, about the 26 or 27 yard line.
That was 2nd and 14. It looks like you got about 13. And that's going to bring up 3rd down, but you could say it's 4 down territory from where they are. So 2 chances to get really less than a yard right now.
I mean, for a kid that ran the option at Susquehanna, Austin White's got a pretty good arm. Sample also playing very well, headed to Pittsburgh Bradford, not to play football, but had a big career at Prep. They'll run the option with White. He picks up the first down. What's it like to coach in? Have you coached in this game? I mean, it's tough juggling, I think, your team and an all-star team.
I coached twice as an assistant, and it's tough. You got to get your kids in there. You got to get your kids for the summer practice. So you're doing them 4 to 6, and then the Dream Game kids come 6 to 8. So it's a lot of time and effort, but it's fun. It's an enjoyable experience. We did it twice. We won the first time, and the second time we lost. But I had a real good time in doing it, and meet a lot of good kids, and you have fun with it.
So a first down call now for the City. They're up by 7. Oh. Big fumble. Who got it? Looks like a team in the white and blue.
City got it back.
Suryavong had it in his hands. Popped right out. We'll take a look at it again, but the City recovers it. All the way back into the 29. Here you go, Paul. Let's look at the fumblerooski again.
So he tried to toss it, but it wasn't a smooth toss. It's almost like throwing a hand grenade. That's really not the way you want to pitch the ball. And he turned to his right, and the running back was to his left. So maybe some miscommunication on that, a little bit of confusion. Those kinds of things lead to fumbles here in second halves of football games.
So we have a couple injuries on the county side, and update us on that. Let's go down to Amanda.
Thanks, Bob. I just checked in with the trainer on the county side. She said that both players, Jeff Burton and Andrew Sladinsky, are okay. However, we probably will not see them return to the field tonight. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, you don't want to get hurt before you head off to college or wherever you might be going.
So they have not started the play clock here, and the City having a discussion. They've already broken the huddle, but it looks like they've got their players set, and the play clock will start now.
Going down for Sample, makes the over-the-shoulder catch at the 5. 29-yard pitch and catch, White to Sample. What a play.
That's the way you make up for a 9-yard loss on a fumble. You throw a 25-yard pass down to the 5-yard line. And it was just designed that way the whole time. Sample was the primary receiver, White out of the shotgun. Great protection by that offensive line up front. And you can tell they've worked on this in practice because he put it at just the exact right spot. And that's hard to do when you only have 10 days of practice, but those two seem to have it worked out pretty well.
I don't think, Coach, you're going to miss Sample or Ryan, right?
No,
From
both of them
Scranton
are
Prep.
great football players. They're very good football players.
White's going to keep it, looks in the end zone, throws it back into the crowd. There you see all the kids here. So it falls incomplete. Big stop now for the county. They want to keep this one close, Paul. I mean, it's 13-6, but, how much do you want to win a game like this? I mean, you're competitive people, right?
Yeah, no matter what you do. I don't care what it is. You're playing in this game. You're playing against your little sister, whoever it is. You got to win. You got to win. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean if your brother, cousin.
Doesn't
right,
matter.
doesn't
You have to win. You always want to come out on top.
Bragging rights on the line. County won last year 14-7. City up in this one, trying to add on here late in the third. Pitch, Rosario. Dives. Touchdown, City. Fumble was after. Lex Rosario's second touchdown of the night.
And a young man named Charlie Pabst out in front leading the way for Rosario's second touchdown. Pabst did that for a guy named McCarthy. Now he's doing it for a guy named Rosario, and that puts the city up by 2 touchdowns now. You taught Charlie Pabst how to do that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's a shame with Charlie's a really good football player, but he missed his whole junior year.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because he was only, you know, as you're going into your senior year, now you're starting your first game of the year will be your 11th game, 12th. He was only going into his, his first, second, third because he didn't play his junior year, which is a shame because he's a very good football player.
Pabst headed to Kutztown, so
Yeah,
a nice
he's going to
Division III
Kutztown.
PSAC school.
Yeah, they want him linebacker. They're very excited about him, too.
So the extra point is up and good. So two score lead now for the city. County, Paul, has to put some offense on the board.
Yeah. The county had the opening possession of this third quarter. Were unable to come away with points from that. And so now they're down by 2 scores. It's almost mandatory. They've only got 1 touchdown tonight. Here you see 3 backs in the backfield, so power formation. Toss it to the right, Rosario. Number 16, Pabst, out in front, leading the way, giving Rosario the room he needs. He had just enough room. Rosario, we said before the game, he can beat you with speed or power. That time it was the power. Even with a man pulling him down, Rosario was strong enough to stretch the ball across the goal line for his second score.
So the big story early on, Paul, we talked about the heat. Sun went down, it's cooled down a little bit. We really haven't seen cramps or anything, and they haven't had to use the stoppage, the water breaks as much as maybe they might have, which is good news.
No, it's gone well. Normally you see a lot of stops for cramps, but these guys were certainly well prepared for that. We haven't seen a lot of it, and all in all, going pretty smooth. I don't know that the heat's affected things much at all, and the guys look like they're in good shape, and they've been subbing in and out well enough to stay fresh.
So this is Haynes again, looking for an opening. Ball almost came out. Gorton tried to get it, and he's down at the 33. Amanda now with one of an all-state type player, headed to a Division II school. Corey Suryavong is on the sidelines. Amanda.
Thanks, guys. Corey, you're leading the team on defense out there. Has the heat affected you guys at all tonight?
In the beginning, it was a little rough, but we caught our breaths. You know, we took little breaks, and then we just got out there and played even harder.
Corey, what's it like for you being out there with your teammates one last time?
It's like extremely happy feeling. I mean, a little nerve-wracking. It's our last game together, but we're making it special.
You had a little jump start on getting ready to play college and football. A couple days of practice here, one more game. How do you think this is helping you before you go to Assumption?
It's really helping me work my hands, helping me work my speed, conditioning, ready for camp. Get used to hitting already, so it's really helpful.
Thanks, Corey. Great game.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, back up to you.
I know you didn't get to see him at all, but probably an all-state player, one of the quickest players on the defensive side that we've seen in a long time. He'll have a good career. I don't want to say underrated player, Paul, but, there's so many good players on those Old Forge teams, especially when they went to the state championship, that Corey was a big part of that.
They lost so many players to graduation after going to that state championship. You thought the cupboard was bare. It wasn't. Old Forge was just as powerful last season. County's just having trouble now getting this momentum going. The city's dropping the hammer. Up by 2 scores. They have the field position, and on defense, they're lowering the boom. And it's just not working for the county running between the tackles. They're going to have to open things up here if they want to get those 2 scores.
Okay, another special guest, this time on the city side with Aaron.
Well, Bob, I'm here with one of the many Dunmore guys on the sidelines tonight, Kyle Aprisco. Does it feel like a regular season game with all of your Dunmore teammates here with you?
Yeah, and looking up at the fans, I can see a bunch of Dunmore fans here, so it's a really nice experience. And yeah, it feels just like home.
Man, how much success you guys have had over the year. Is it hard to pick out kind of one memory or one season? What really sticks out for you as a great high school memory?
Well, I definitely like our state run too, my senior year. I mean, the game right before was probably my favorite game of all time, to be honest. Yeah, so that.
So let's talk about this line a little bit. You think you guys will be, friends forever, that sort of thing?
Oh, definitely. We still meet up for like wing nights and stuff like that every other night. So yeah, a line that eats together stays together.
Oh, I like that. How about your future plans?
I'm going to Muhlenberg College. I'm going to be an environmental engineer, hopefully.
Very cool. Yeah, you're making friends, I see.
Yeah. I love all these kids, to be honest. They're all great teammates, and it's not hard just to be playing with them.
Awesome. We'll have a great rest of the game.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us right here on MyTV WQMY.
Well, the city's up in this one here in the 81st annual Dream Game. Big reason why. 8 players from the team that Dunmore put on the field and what dominance they've had since in their playing days since 2011. Of course, went to a state final twice in their career. 49-6 overall for a 4-year record. One of the big reasons why is their legendary head coach, Jack Henses, and we're happy to have the coach of the Dunmore Bucks with us. Jack, thanks for joining us in the booth. You see that record. What does that mean to your program and the kids that are playing in this Dream Game?
Well, we've been very fortunate. We have very good student athletes, and we have coaches that have been in our school for the last 10 to 12, 15 years, and there's a lot of continuity, but it's the young men that make the program go.
Coach, you've even made adjustments. You lost Coach Dolan, who was an important part of your team, and I thought, well, maybe Dunmore's going to need to adjust to replace him. No problem. You guys are just as good as ever. Did you have to shuffle a lot to replace Coach Dolan?
Well, Greg's done a great job at North Poco, and he's really going to reap the benefits this year. We just had a passing scrimmage with them, and they have some very good athletes. And when he left, we wished him the best of luck. But I thought who we're going to have be our offensive coordinator, and I gave it to our offensive line coach, Jeff Mills, who does a great job. And he just said to me, Coach, you think you have enough confidence in me? I said, I wouldn't be asking you to do it if I didn't. So we're very fortunate to have him, and I have Kevin McKeel takes care of our defense, and of course I have Mike DeSanto takes care of our specialty team. So we're very fortunate to have those young people. They're excellent teachers in the classroom, first of all, and most importantly, they know how to handle young men.
What keeps you coming every year back?
Well, it's I just take one year at a time, and the excitement, I'm really excited at going from year to year, and I enjoy doing it. I love coaching a lot of the young kids. Our kids have worked out in the morning with us, and I'm back with the freshmen at night. It's a great experience for me, and I started here with my dad back in Lakeview High School many years ago, and it's a pleasure to see my grandson Jake Henses playing on this field too. So I know my mom and dad are looking down today, and I can just remember some of the things where we practiced in the back there and where the sidelines were, and we come out of the tunnel and all that. And it was a great experience, and I was very fortunate to have not only my dad, but he was a great head coach and let me do a lot of things that helped me along in my coaching career.
Kroptavich catches a big pass over the middle.
Well, he had also, Kratovich also had an interception. We were in break for the city, so that's why they have the ball. Let's look at it again. Cohen looking very good in that pocket. Finds the West Scranton player over the middle. He makes a nice catch. So City on the move again.
Penalty on that play. That might even add to it. Coach, we saw obviously Jerry Prosciutti before. I mean, you think of him, you think of Dream Game, but you probably go farther back in this Dream Game than even Jerry Prosciutti does. How have you seen this game change over the years? What was this game? What did it mean 40 years ago?
Well, when I played the game, we played in the wintertime. It was freezing. We played in the mud. And this is a pleasure to see this, plus the field conditions here. And Senator Mello deserves a lot of credit putting this field together and the facility that they have right now. He's done a great job for the communities up here. But basically, it's the times have changed. We throw the ball back many times in those years. Today, you see all the passes being thrown and doing a great job. And I'm really impressed with the conditioning of the both teams in this particular type of situation here.
Pat Monahan with a little bit of a run as the City's on the move inside the 25, looking for another score.
Well, back in those days, a player would use this team maybe to get a scholarship or to catch the attention of a coach. Did coaches must have come to the game.
Well, there's no question about it. Things have changed. Now recruiting has changed tremendously. Most of the Division I schools, even the Division II schools, have their programs. They're going into the next year looking at their athletes. They already have their commitments by their people, hoping that they're going to, when they commit, they're going to stay. But on the same token, things have changed, and sometimes, the rules have changed with the PIAA and also college that they're not allowed to come to these games.
Right,
a lot,
okay.
So it's important.
Well, speaking of college, you have 8 kids. I mean, all of them going to college on the next level. What does that mean to say about the kids, the school, district, your program, that they're going to take it to the next level, even if they don't play football again, they're going to get a college education?
Well, that's important. As I mentioned in the previous, we were very fortunate. We've got good student athletes. Our teachers work very hard with our students, and got a great administration that's behind us 1,000%. So our kids realize that, coaches realize that, and the important factor, of course, is that we reap the benefits of it.
Cohen looking in the end zone. He'll be taken down about the 6. Well, what do your guy Sal Marquez scored the first touchdown of the night?
Well, we're very impressed. Sal did a great job for us last year, and he's played almost 3.5 years for us as a starter. So we're going to miss him to a great extent. He's done a great job playing in this game and also for us for the last 3.5, 4 years.
Well, as Dunmore fans know, you're going to lose a great offensive line. You have the Drews brothers. You have Mikowski, Aprisco, McMinn. I mean, they were the backbone of your 4 years of 49 wins. What's it say to the offensive line? I know your coaches do a great job, but that offensive line, they were second to none, even in the state.
Well, there's no question about it, and I think the key phrase right now is we tell our players is patience is going to be the key, because we lost our entire offensive line. We lost 2 centers, we lost 3 guards, 2 tackles, a tight end. So we got to replace almost everyone on the offensive line, and our kids are working very hard for us right now. And as I said, the key word is patience.
Yeah, Joe Waters, of course, the tight end. Talk about the Drews brothers. What kind of characters are they? I know they're going to Moravian and Muhlenberg.
Danny, of course, started so many games for us. He has the record, I think, about 57 football games since his freshman year, and he played every game. So, you're anchored in the middle with Tim, and, of course, Timmy's done a great job for us with that, too. And then the Aprisco and McMinn, we've been very fortunate. As I said, Coach Mills does a great job in working with the young men, and we're very confident, hope that we can stay healthy. And, as I said, patience is going to be the key.
Justin Bellardi from Scranton Prep pulls in the 5-yard touchdown play as the city extends their lead, Paul, driving down the field.
26-6 now here in the fourth quarter, and the city has really come out and dominated the second half. This possession and this score started by an interception from Kyle Kruptavich, and it looked like the county was starting to move the ball, but Kruptavich comes up with that interception. He had a nice reception in the series, and there we see the touchdown as the city now tries to add to their lead with an extra point.
Yeah, I think that touchdown in the third quarter really was the difference in that game. They were up 13-6. They added another one to extend that lead, did the city, and the county couldn't answer. I mean, that was one of the key points of this game. So 8:29 left in the 81st annual Lions Club Dream Game. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll come back and talk more to Jack Henses. Cohen finds Velarde for the city.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
NFL preseason is right around the corner, and Fox 56 has Eagles and Steelers this year. Friday, August 14th, Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers look for a return to the playoffs in 2015. Kickoff against the Jaguars at 7:30. Then Sunday, August 16th, Chip Kelly and the Eagles test their offseason moves against the Colts. So 1 o'clock. Stay tuned. NFL preseason, Steelers and Eagles on Fox 56.
We are back at John Henses Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. It's the 81st annual Lions Club Dream Game. Bob Ide, Paul Grippy, Amanda Kuhl, and Aaron Dugan joining this game. And City just extended their lead now 27-6. We're joined in the booth by legendary coach Jack Henzis from Dunmore, whose father this field is named after, and big hit by Christian Miller from Susquehanna on the quarterback for the county. Let's take a look at this one again. Is that Miller coming in?
He came with a ton of bricks here. He means business. Same thing happened last time City scored a touchdown. In the next defensive series, they lowered the boom on the county. The county has to be wondering what they got to do to get that offense going here in the second half.
Jordan O'Hearn from Scranton, first hit. Coach, you coached in this one last year. Of course, the county won that one 14-7. How hard is it to juggle your team in Dunmore and then an all-star team during a week of preparation?
Well, it's very important. You know, you have to allot your time properly. We practice with our own high school football team in the mornings, and we had the Dream Game practice at 6 at night. And I have to say the young men that played for us in the Dream Game came to practice every day. They played hard for us, and I thought they did a great job for us in the game. And unfortunately, we didn't win it, but we're very proud of their efforts and what they did for us.
Well, Amanda has another special guest on the field. This one from Honesdale. Amanda.
Thanks, guys. I have Josh Labasso down here. Josh, you played both sides of the ball tonight, wreaking havoc on defense and playing quarterback. You're heading to Lycoming, but you'll only be playing quarterback.
Yeah. Lycoming got me for quarterback. That's what they said to bring me in as, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Do you prefer playing offense over defense?
It's whatever. As long as I'm on the field having fun with my teammates, you know, no preference.
That's what it's all about. Josh, what special memories are you going to take away from tonight's game?
Definitely getting to know some guys that you played against and playing with some of your old teammates and just growing together, making new friends, and definitely all the proceeds that go to the Blind Association.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. Best of luck at Lycoming. All right, guys, back to you.
Well, while Amanda had the interview, a big hit, big defensive play put on by the City as they pick up a defensive touchdown. Let's see it right here, Paul.
Well, it's Justin Bellardi on the touchdown. A bad snap, it goes high over the head, and then wreaking all havoc in there. Jordan O'Hearn knocks it loose, and then Bellardi picks it up and goes in for his second touchdown of this game, one on offense and one on defense.
Second in a row, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
2 in a row for the Scranton Prep senior in Justin Bellardi. The extra point will come on. Bellardi headed to Carnegie Mellon College. So this one getting a little out of hand now as mistakes on the county side has cost them. Interception and a fumble recovery. And as expected, the City has a big lead over the county this one time, 34-6. Some mistakes from the county. Fumble on the play. Johnny on the spot, it's Justin Bellardi. 2 touchdowns in a row for the Cavalier.
And welcome back to the Dream Game. We just saw him score 2 touchdowns in a row from Scranton Prep. Justin Bellardi. You're really feeling it out there tonight, huh?
I guess so.
Having fun?
I am. A lot of fun. It's great coming out here playing with all these guys, the best players around.
Seems like in the crowd today, Scranton Prep, you have a lot of supporters here. What does that mean to you?
That's great that our friends could come out and support us even after we all graduate and stuff. You know, we're all leaving in a few weeks, so it's nice for everyone to come around one last time.
Tell us where you're headed off to college.
I'm going to Carnegie Mellon.
And what are you going to do there?
I'm majoring in engineering. I'm going to play football.
Fantastic. Have a great time.
I will. Thanks.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you, guys. And there you saw Jake Henzis take the ball on the kickoff, and good seeing your grandson here, I bet, playing in his last game.
It's a pleasure. You know, Jake's done a great job at Abilene Heights, and he's going to go to Hobart University College up there, so we're very happy for him.
Of course, he was also finished second in the District 2 track meet for Abington in the 200-yard dash. Second to Pat Monahan. So let's see now what Vic Mallory can do for Lackawanna Trail for the county team. Christopher Larson with his first catch of the game from Carbondale. He's headed to Misericordia University. So, Coach, we had Kyle Cook here and Mike Marichak, and we asked them the big off-season story is this expansion. You've pretty much been part of this 4-class system for most of your career at Dunmore. What do you think of expansion? Is it overdue for the state?
Well, there's no question about it. I think it's overdue for the AAA schools and the quad A schools. You know, we at Dunmore are going to be either single or double just by maybe 2 or 3 students, but I think it's going to help the AAA schools and the quad A schools when they match up against some of the other schools what they had in the past. When you start playing someone that has 1,600 students in the school versus maybe 500 or 600, it's a big difference.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, in District 2, we see that a lot. With Coach Marichak talked about that at one of the smaller quad A schools, and they have to go play Eastons and the Bethlehem Liberties. It doesn't, as you mentioned, probably not going to affect you guys too much from Dunmore's standpoint. Your AA and A, you've been going back and forth the last couple of years, but overall, probably a good idea. One of the few states in the nation that still have the 4-class system.
Well, speaking of the state, now it's been 4 years in a row that the Lackawanna League, which is what the Dream Game is all about, has sent a team to the state championship, and really 5 out of 6 years. Your Dunmore Bucks have been in there 3 times. You know, I grew up in this area. I know the football in this area fairly well. To me, I think the Lackawanna League is at an all-time high. It's about the best competition and level of play I've ever seen. There have always been good teams, and a few years great teams, Valley View and Dunmore, of course, over the years. But now a lot of really good teams where you can say the team who wins the league or the district, particularly single A or double A, could get to Hershey in a reasonable year with no problem.
Well, we're being fortunate, you know, in '89, we've been in the state playoff final 4 times, and we've lost 3, and we played against some great athletes, you know. Prior, it was best athlete, and then, of course, the young man that plays up at the University of Pittsburgh, the wide receiver, and he was the player of the freshman player of the year. And, of course, last year, the good quarterback that played at that particular school. But on the same token, you know, I think it's the competition we have in our area here, the way the teams prepare themselves for it, that on any given night you can be beaten. And I think the important factor is that we can stand up to almost anybody in the state that we're going to play.
Right.
How about your division this year? Obviously, we talked about you lose some great players, especially on that offensive line. But the cupboard's not bare at Dunmore. You have some great players coming back, especially in the backfield. How about the overall division, though? What do you think?
Well, I think that you have Lakeland and Riverside. Riverside's got quite a few athletes coming back. They've been playing together for 2 years. Now they're going into 3rd and 4th year, and I look for them. And, of course, I look for Lakeland. They've got quite a few people coming back. So they're the two top teams I think that everybody's going to have to contend with.
The 4th and 8 will force the county to punt, and the city could practically run out the game here, up by 4 touchdowns.
Well, it's Jake Henzis in the back, and we'll let Jack go and watch more of his grandson. Jack, well, we'll see you in the season. And we'll definitely, good luck to you, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on with you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
Jack
so much.
Henzis, the longtime coach of the Dunmore Bucks, joining us here in the booth.
A lot of fans enjoying this. You're seeing a lot of smiles and people on a nice warm summer night, because the Dream Game means that back to school season is really about to start.
Yep.
July ends on Friday, and August is the time you start thinking about back to school. First the colleges and then the high schools. So if you haven't had your summer fun yet, you better squeeze it in really quick. And it's a beautiful warm summer night to be out doing anything, and football is always high on the list of things I like to do.
Absolutely. Sal Marquez from Dunmore taking it in.
We got to pick some players of the games as we wind down here. We have some nice candidates to look at. Obviously, with a lopsided score, you're going to focus on the city team. I'll start by throwing out the name Kyle Haynes from the county team. He's returned kicks. He scored a touchdown. He's broken some big plays. He's really stood out for them. The city team, you can go down the list. Rosario, Cohen, Shea, certainly Rinaldi. Take your pick.
Well, Lex Rosario scored 2 touchdowns in this one, and
so did Rinaldi.
Rinaldi's on the county team. Rinaldi. What Rinaldi are you
Oh,
talking
I'm sorry, Bellardi.
Bellardi.
Excuse me.
Yes. Right, I thought you were Rinaldi.
I've got my names.
Yes, you do.
confused.
Bellardi.
Bellardi, not
Scranton Prep.
Rinaldi.
Bellardi scored a couple touchdowns through the air, but, you know, Cohen's played very well from Delaware Valley, as has Austin White, Susquehanna coach. I mean, you could go, as you said, you could name anybody over there. You could even name the defense. They've only given up 6 points in this game. It was a close game at the half. 13-6. County had the ball, but unable to do anything. Monahan juggles. If he gets in the open, he'll be gone. Can't escape a tackle. And Amanda Cool now on the sideline with another player. Amanda?
Hey guys, I'm joined with Bobby Rinaldi from Old Forge. You led your team to an awesome year at Old Forge, ending up going to state finals. What was that season like for you?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Not only the state championship, but going with the guys that we went with. Corey and Vahey are here tonight playing with me. And the seniors that graduated my junior year, man, those guys were they're some of my best friends. And the bond we made throughout that journey can't be taken away from us. You know, we didn't get what we wanted in the end. You know, we came up short, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
An emotional night tonight for sure. Your last night suiting up with 2 of your best friends. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm a little disappointed on what's going on right now, but you know, it's an all-star game. It's all about fun, and you know, I made some great friends from rival schools, and you know, I'm not happy with the outcome of the game, but I'm happy with the outcome of the people I met on the way.
And there you have it. It's all about who they meet and doing it for a good cause tonight for the Association for the Blind. Guys, back to you.
See, I knew there was a Rinaldi in there somewhere.
We are going to Bobby Rinaldi. Maybe, you know, he's going to head to Villanova, probably take up a business degree, get into the family business. You know, he will not play football, but, you know, he had a great experience at that school. I mean, every year it seemed like Old Forge was in the finals when he was part of the team.
A great run for the Blue Devils, and they have high expectations coming into the 2015 season.
Sal Marquez bouncing out, looking for the end zone. Now, this is where you don't want things to get chippy. You know, so far so good. And hit out of bounds hard, but, you know, they'll let it go and the clock will keep rolling. Aaron with another city player. Aaron.
Well, Bob, I'm here with Kevin Sample from Scranton Prep, running around the field like crazy today. A couple nice grabs. You're really making the most out of this last high school game, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the last 48 minutes of my career. I definitely got to make the best out of it. I got to play a lot on both sides of the ball, and on offense I made some of my plays. I came up with some pretty good catches, and on defense I made some nice tackles.
So tell us about next year. I know you're not going to be playing football, but you'll continue playing sports.
I will continue playing sports. After playing 4 years of, well, actually many years of sports, ending my sporting career at the college level is not happening. So I'm going to continue playing baseball at University of Pitt Bradford, and it's going to be a fun time.
Now, I know we were talking before. You said you made a couple friends from some other teams. Who are some of those guys? Yeah, well,
We went up last night, actually, the night before the game. We went up to the Delaware Valley, the kids' house, and we had a pasta night. And it was a really good time. We had about 5 trays of pasta, and the Drews brothers took down about 2 of the trays themselves. So we had a really good time. We're meeting a lot of new friends, and these friendships are going to last forever.
The boys can eat, right?
Those boys can eat.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Well, in years past, Paul, we've seen Delaware Valley back out because, you know, it's tough to travel, especially if you're practicing in Scranton. Tough that an hour a day to come down to practice. But the Delaware Valley kids made a commitment this year to come down, and they've played very well in this game. They showed that they're a big part of the Lackawanna Football Conference.
Yep, they came out and meaning business here, and we've certainly seen it in Cohan and in Rosario contributing, and Delaware Valley a strong contingent. Pasta night, a tradition for the Warriors all season long. The seniors on the football team get together and go to a home and eat pasta. You get a group of football players together, they can eat a lot of pasta. And so that's a tradition that they extended to the players on the Dream Game squad. So good for them. That's what this is about. It's about making friendships, and these guys will do that. This is an experience they will remember the rest of their lives. In fact, I was in the weight room the other day and walked up to a guy who I knew was a good high school football player, and I said to him, "Did you play in the Dream Game?" Oh, he lit up with a smile, and he had memories about the game and what it was like and the fun that he had playing. That was over 25 years ago, and he remembers it very well, and it means an important memory for him.
A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield as the city maybe holding back just a little bit. They are up by 28 points. not unexpected with the talent they had on this team. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle for the county. And big Western Wayne player in there for the county, Matt Witt. He's headed to Shippensburg, 6'3", 270.
Western Wayne coach Don McDonough is the coach of the county team. He also played in the Dream game.
Yep.
Came out on the losing end as a player, and well, down by 28. Looks like he'll come out on the losing end as the coach, but I know he has enjoyed the experience tremendously. You talk about the county head coach, Donnie McDonough, and he found out he was going to be the coach. They go on a rotation, so he knew. And in the winter is when they find out who the players are. Well, in the winter, he also became a dad, too. His wife gave birth back in February, and in March was when he started putting this team together. So that was a high for him and a thrill for him, and 2015 is going to be a very memorable year for Coach McDonough, the head coach for the county.
I know he was very excited to coach this team, and his wife and new baby were here before the game taking pictures on the field. So, you know, he might have lost, and it stings, but he's back with the Wildcats tomorrow, I'm sure. You know, they lose some very good players as Pat Monahan from North Pocono pushes it in for a city touchdown. But, you know, he was very excited, took this very seriously, and as well you should, and, you know, doing a nice job for the Wildcats. Their team, you know, they have some kids up there that can play. You know, they've had for years, and now, you know, with Donnie McDonough at the helm, maybe let's see if they can make some noise in that division.
Well, Western Wayne has turned it around. We know about their losing streak from a few years ago that got up into the 40s, and they were able to end that and then get a 500 season, and now they're competitive, and they need to take that next step to where they can compete for championships, either division championships or league championships or district championships. So they're moving in the right direction. Great facility up there, and the school is investing in the program.
Well, we have 21 seconds left, Paul. Let's what do you think of this football season coming up? We had the coaches coming, and here's our schedule coming up here on My TV WQMY. We'll have On Track with the Rail Riders pregame show. That's on Friday. It's the minor league baseball as Columbus takes on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. On Saturday, Major League Baseball on My TV, Yankees, White Sox, and then more Major League Baseball on the CW, I believe. That's Atlanta at Philadelphia. So let's go back. You know, good chance now to look a little bit ahead. Lackawanna Football Conference will actually have a press day, August 11th, I believe. And we'll know more then. But who we expected?
Well, an exciting season. A lot of the usual suspects. I think some teams that have been good recently will need to retool. Coach Marichek said his Scranton team is young. I'd agree with that. Losing McCarthy is not easy. Scranton Prep had a few good years back-to-back. They've just lost a real nice core of players.
Including the quarterback.
Abington Heights had a down year last year. They're going to be improved. Two teams in AAA emerging, West Scranton and North Pocono, something to look at. I think star players going into the season, I think you start with Dunmore's Colin Holmes. He'll be a junior, and his number is already retired. Okay, yeah, that's how good of a player Colin Holmes is.
Well, they also had a backup member, had a big game against Wyoming, Robert Martin, I believe.
Garrett Murray.
Garrett Murray, excuse me,
was a freshman, and he'll be a terrific running back for the Bucks. So Dunmore is going to lose a lot on the line, but they always have more where that came from, and they're going to come back with some good skill players for the Bucks.
Don't count out this Valley View team. Wasilchak's back at running back. Their quarterback's back. You mentioned North Pocono. Delaware Valley, of course, always has numbers, and when you have numbers, you can always put the best teams on.
Riverside had a really good second half, and they're not going to surprise or sneak up on anybody
New
now.
coach Tom Fox taking over there. West Scranton, don't count out them. Quarterback returning, big tight end coming back. What people are talking up West Scranton with this Brian Fahey at the helm. So that's on that side. I think in the Division III, I think you have to look at Old Forge.
Yep.
They have a lot of linemen back. They have the running back. So, I think Old Forge will be the favorite in that division as well. So it should be another exciting season in the Lackawanna Football Conference as we have a little trickery. Henses downfield.
Stanley with the pass attempt. I'm sorry, not Stanley.
Henses.
Jake Henses.
Jake
That's
Henses,
right.
yes.
Dropping back.
I saw that one in practice. Surprised it took this long to throw it. You can see that you were down in this game. But that one fell incomplete. Big crowd on hand, over 7,000 people filing out here.
Yeah.
On a beautiful summer evening. Full moon overhead, blue moon as Paul mentioned before.
And really a lot of people associated with the Blind Association, people who lack vision, people who can't see very well, they'll benefit from tonight. A lot of money being raised that will go to help them.
So in our post game, we'll have Brian Fahey, the winning coach, Delaware Valley's Lex Rosario, and Scranton Prep, possibly Scranton Prep tight end Justin Bellardi. He has 2 touchdowns as well. We'll talk to them, and we'll wrap it up here in Peckville, the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game. Clock hits 0, and that will do it. The final score, the city wins this one big, 41-6. County couldn't do it again as they did last year. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk to some of the players on the winning team and wrap it up here from Peckville.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.
We are back in Peckville. The city pulls out a big win. They were up at the half, 13-6. And before we wrap up this game, let's head down to Aaron Dugan with the winning coach. Aaron?
Well, Coach, bringing it back to the city tonight, how proud are you of these guys?
I'm very proud. I mean, the way they practiced is the way they played. I mean, they executed, they played together. We were fortunate to get a lot of people to contribute on both sides of the football. That was our goal. Everybody stayed healthy, luckily, so, it was a positive night. County did a nice job, very competitive game, but I'm really proud of our kids, and I'm glad that they got to come out on top.
From practice this week, is there anyone that really surprised you tonight?
There were no surprises, but there's a lot of people I can cite individually. I thought one of the differences in the second half was that hustle play by Scott Gorton and Victor Burns recovering that fumble. I think that really, we kind of turned things around momentum-wise, and I was glad to see that. Justin Bellardi made some big catches and then a scoop and score. I thought Jordan O'Hearn in pass rush situations was very solid. I can go on and on. I mean, I'm really proud of these kids. They made the job easy. It's a talented group, and they were a pleasure to coach.
And so much goes into this game, an experience that you'll take with you, I'm sure?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was, it's a privilege and an honor to be able to coach it. The 81st game, of course. I was lucky to come out on the winning side, but that's due to my assistant coaches who did a heck of a job in preparing these kids. The Water Boys did a heck of a job on a hot night. I'm going to give a shout out to them as well. But yeah, it was a great experience for me.
Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go grab the players of the game, and I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, Aaron's going to hustle down there. Pretty much what we expected. As you looked at it on paper, Paul, the skilled people were definitely on the side of the city, and that really played into the second half.
Well, also on paper, you saw the size. The city team seemed to have a little bit better size, and they definitely worked that to their advantage. They shut down the county's running between the tackles. If you go back and look at it, the county couldn't run straight ahead. When the county was effective running, it was to the outside. But overall, that city defense really shut them down, held them to 6 points. Their only touchdown came from a drive that started on the 49-yard line of the city, and it took about 6 plays or so that they were able to drive, and Haynes was get the touchdown, and that was the only bright spot of the night for the county.
Well, one of the city all-stars is with Aaron right now.
That's right, Bob. Our 2 players of the game from Scranton Prep, Justin Bellardi, and from Delaware Valley, Lex Rosario. I know I talked to you just a little while ago, but just wrap it up again for me one more time. Playing in front of 7,000-plus people. What was this night to you?
Just one of the greatest experiences of my life. So many fans came out. We played with the best players around. Just nothing will top it probably ever.
Talk us through both of your touchdowns tonight. What did you see out there?
Well, the first one, we ran a little play action in the red zone, and I just got open. He dumped it over a defender's head right in my hands. And then they bad snap. One of my teammates tied up the 2 offensive players. I was able to scoop and score.
And a lot of competition. No one was just taking that lightly out there tonight.
No, not a chance.
All right, well, great job tonight, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And Lex, also a great job on the ground tonight. What did you see from your teammates tonight?
Definitely a great blocking screen. They were really pushing out there. We got off to a slow start, but then we kept going.
So was this a great way to cap off your high school career?
Definitely, it definitely was. I wasn't expecting to have as many carries as I did and to catch the ball out of the backfield, but it really worked out for the game.
Anything stick out for you from either your last season or your entire season as a football player? Any games, any memories?
This is definitely going to be one of my biggest memories of my high school career, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, great job, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you to Amanda Cool for their hustle down there. And thank you to the players and coaches for allowing us to interview them on the sidelines. Paul, you ready for some football?
Oh, I can't wait. Let's strap on those chin straps, and let's get the preseason underway. Football season's right around the corner.
Absolutely, and what a way to kick it off at the 81st Annual Lions Club Dream Game. Final score again, 41-6. City pulls out a big victory. Want to thank the Lions Club, everyone here at Valley View, and especially our Fox 56 sports crew who did a nice job in the heat and the humidity today and putting those pictures that you see right now. That will do it for now from John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. For Paul Grippy, Amanda Cool, Aaron Dugan, it's Bob Ide saying so long, and we'll see you down the road.
You're watching a Fox 56 Sports presentation of the Rivalry of the Week on My Network TV.